doesn't want the position, then I don't think she has any motivation to kind of stir things up here. I think the fact that they both voted, that they were both like, you know, I guess the most recent dissenting vote after, like double dissent after a 30-year period, I think that got a lot of heads rolling, especially because they were both already in talks to be the Fed chair. And I think the timing of that maybe got things a little bit, you know, more muddy and tinfoil hat than they necessarily needed to be. I mean, that's just my opinion, though, right? I think that all in all, based on, especially Fed Waller has been a lot more candid about it. He really did believe at the time that there was a reason to cut rates in July. He also at one point was advocating for the 50 basis point cut in September. And with that in mind, especially because Myron voted, I believe the fact that he didn't vote for the 50 bip cut at the September meeting with Myron is because he didn't see a case for it. Because he said, I'm down for 50 unless something changes in the data. If you view as something changes in the data, I actually find this to be consistent.
Thank you, Dara.
Good stuff. Yeah, guys, $200.
Oh, my God.
$200 Canadian dollars.
That's crazy.
200 snow pesos right there.
Snow pesos.
Brought 15 CrowdStrike, 450 calls at the lows. Took some profits today. Lunch and beer.
Oh.
Lunch and beer. I'm saying it twice.
Take a picture. Take a picture. We need earmark.
Lunch and beer. I'll screenshot it on me since Neil and Sean didn't seem to like the lunch today. Thank you, JT.
Oh.
I know it's not John Tavares or Justin Timberlake, but thank you, my good friend, for those 200 Canadian dollars. And we'll be sure to hold them accountable. And maybe for Mike B. DeRider and company, we crack a wobbly on Friday.
Send him off, Joey.
All right. No, fantastic day, guys. We rock and rolled. Fantastic session. Crypto space was moving. A lot of the big names, NVDA, INTC, lots of things in play. It's Friday tomorrow. Keep it cool, guys.
Bang. See ya. Big boys that way.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for that super chat there, JT. We appreciate you for sure. CrowdStrike's an absolute beast, and I will confirm. Well, I guess at some point we must have already said it. We must have already said we didn't enjoy the lunch, but I can confirm it was about the normal tilapia.
Just because it was tilapia, I think that was.
Yeah, it wasn't all that great, but we appreciate it. We'll see if we can do something tomorrow. I think the lunch is going to be good tomorrow. We'll see. The market's trying to go against the IPO was kind of I didn't think it was any good. I saw some people say it was good that it held its price. I would argue that it didn't, but I want to point out a stock that might not have got paid attention to, SOFI, at all-time highs. I've been saying 52. I've made the mistake of saying all-time highs so many times when it was a 52-week high on SOFI, but now I can say all-time highs for SOFI got major in lunch. I don't know how much this got mentioned, but this is a big-time setup on a monthly chart. Big level here for SOFI. It's a monthly chart, so ideally it still has to close, breaking out, but this has been an absolute burner. Congratulations to them. Or anybody that happens to own SOFI, it has been a winner. I didn't take nobody took the print on
Scope.
Thank you. Netscope. Nobody took the print on it. I just shorted VWAP a while ago, and I'm in the VWAP short. If it breaks VWAP, I'm getting out of it. It hasn't fallen apart. I'll give it that. But you could have made money if maybe you went long back through the open. But if you took the open, I don't think you could have made a dime if you had a stop order. If you had a stop order, you're getting stopped out, just like that.
I know there's not much trading there on the midday show, but I just put this trade on right now. It was literally at 2 o'clock. We went long the futures right there, bouncing off VWAP. So we're going to wait to see what winds up happening here with this trade. And
oh my God.
We did it again. Like NVIDIA, again, is giving us every single thing we need here on NVDA. So still in this one. And I said to Neil, it's like, the IPO trades are easy because all you do is buy it and you close your eyes. This NVIDIA trade, it's like, I wish I knew that this was like somehow a maximum position, but you never know what the market's going to give you. And yeah, it could have been, again, just another, it's a big trade, but I mean, I'm always looking to make big trades, and it's not a big trade though. But anyways, nice move up there. Now $2.50 in the money as well. So No, sorry, I meant the futures. Yeah, Sharif saying they did have a lot of trades, actually. Actually, I was looking today. Good job there, Joe. Great day today. Sharif had a bang-up day. I meant to say the futures there. So I was just buying that on that dip. So I know that Joe will trade on the midday there, sometimes the futures, and Sharif will look at some more mid-cap names. But there it goes right now, the TQs to the upside. So, yeah, and it's funny because Sharif mentioned to me this name when I came back, and it was this Brea Holdings. And he asked me, like, do I know what they do? And the funny thing is that you guys, in the middle of the day, in the middle of the first show, you guys called this up. And remember, I looked it up, and I actually probably still have it. Oh, no, I don't. I looked up Grab after that. But I was like, oh, I don't know what this company is. It was Brea Holdings. I was like, it's probably some Chinese name. But it turns out that it's a crypto play. And there it goes, man. So, yeah, this is another one of those plays. It's too bad. Like, you guys mentioned it, so I'm going to say awesome to everybody in the chat. And I should have, like, actually looked at it, and instead, there it goes.
But
I don't know
what
what
the problem
could have done about it.
It was literally halted from 9:30 to 10:56.
Yeah.
It reopened as we were ending the morning show.
So could have done nothing about it.
So
anyways.
it's like, we weren't even paying attention. And then like, when the morning show ends, it's like, get up, go to the bathroom. And then by that time, it already halted up like a couple of times. So the timing of it, and this is a new one. I don't remember a situation where we actually saw a stock halt for this long since Funware, like a couple of years. Oh my goodness, 4 years ago.
Funware, yeah.
That was 4 years ago. 5 years, nope,
Funware?
5 years ago.
UNH is tanking right now, by the way. I just saw someone in the chat. I don't see any news on anything
I'm
like
going to
this.
restart my thing. I didn't
The
hear.
market, no, I didn't hear anything either. Mine's restarted, but yeah, I don't know. Down 2% here today. You can see a nice little downside play there for UNH. So we could watch out for that. But if you're going to look to see, where might this bleeding stop? I mean, now it's open door. Now it's open because you break that level right there of 336. So now you have to go back all the way to September 9th, where we have a little bit of consolidation in and around this area. So what's that bottom? 332. So I would say that might be a first zone of interest there, 332. So we'll see if UNH can continue to make its move down. We've done well. I'm already out of 30% actually of these TQ trades as we go from boom to boom. So MSOS right now, there's some sort of a marijuana group that's pushing Congress here for tax relief on the devil's lettuce there. There it is, nice move upside, 432 to 452. Anyways, all right, let's go over to Sharif. We've got something called the rundown. You guys voted for it all midday, and here we go. Let's go talk about it right now. Joe gets the chicken and not the tilapia. What a guy.
Oh, boy. Welcome, everyone, to the Afternoon Rundown, the show where we decide what we talk about every day. The big boys are locked and loaded, and they're ready to look at the tickers as decided by you. But the only way to get those tickers right there is to join Joseph and I at any point during the midday. In fact, in the morning show as well, vote for your favorite tickers every day by getting into that chat and throwing in that $sign, and then whatever ticker you like, make sure it's preceded by the $sign, though it doesn't register unless it is it's got a $sign. All right, let's look at all four major averages, and all four major averages are in green territory. Here's a look at the ES. Trading just below 6,700 right now, but up nicely 0.6% on the day, looking to reclaim that 6,700 point area. The NQ up nicely as well, 1.15%. Looks like it got as high as 24.8, so we did breach momentarily that $24,800 level, point level, but dropping down below it. The best performing major average on the day, the Russell 2000, no surprise there with yesterday, was rate cut, and then the Dow moved aggressively higher than the other four major averages yesterday. Today, the worst performing one on the day, up 0.3, but still green nonetheless. Here's the first ticker as decided by you guys, AMD. Tougher day for AMD today, down 1.6%, but certainly off the lows, defended that 150 level quite well. And the reason it's dropping is because Intel and NVIDIA made a deal, and the market thinks that, or looks at the collaboration between the two companies as possibly hurting AMD. So built down here 1.58%.
Yeah, well, you know what? Great recovery for AMD. No questions asked. It was looking pretty ugly all morning long. I only traded one trend break on it, and sometimes I feel like it's good to get out, so I moved my stop on this, which ended up being good. But you always want to see how the market reacts to good or bad news, and that'll tell you a little bit of something about where the stock is at. So AMD today was absolutely cratering all pre-market and made a low at 150 bucks. Obviously, it's easy to be able to tell it just to double held the 150. I think there's a bit of a test. I know it's trending upside right now, but there's a bit of a test coming up because this area here in the 160, above 160, has been resistance on AMD. So good that the market, or at least buyers, decided, hey, this is something we want to pick up on the dip, but you still have all kinds of resistance in that 161 and 164 range. I think that'll be a problem for it tomorrow for a bit of a potential fade zone. And it's all systems go. I mean, I guess, you know, there's going to be room for multiple winners when it comes to the chips, especially between AMD and NVIDIA. It would have been pretty nasty had it not held on to, I think, this 149.5 area. If that had gone down, I think it would have been probably running a few stops. So tomorrow, I know it's having a good day. Tomorrow, I'll probably go back to thinking this 160, 161, and then eventually the 164 or resistance till they're not. But a good sign here. It's still in the same range it's been in the last 2 weeks, but the market decided to buy at that 150. I think you're full board to be able to do that. And I guess I'll lump these in because it's all related. Intel gave up the ghost. Well, okay, it's up.
Damn you!
It's up 23%. That's an unfair thing to say it gave up the ghost.
Well, it did. It's down 10% from its highs.
Yeah, it completely reversed. It was trend up in most of lunchtime off of VWAP. It lost it. If we get back to the volume weighted average price, I might look for a little reversion play here off of VWAP for Intel. It's up so much. I mean, who wouldn't be taking, like, how could there not be profit taking on Intel in a situation like this? So eventually it did give up some. I shouldn't say give up the ghost because it's up 23%.
I'm getting out of some Intel, like, literally right now. Like, I almost threw up when I saw that because I meant to do it at lunchtime there. Now I've given back 10%, which is ridiculous right there. I am gonna get out of some Intel. Okay, well, I have to do a job here first. All right, so yeah, I mean, look, AMD, right? You know, we talked about the PE AMD versus NVIDIA, right? We looked at this yesterday. So there's Grab. Maybe we should look at Grab again. Here's AMD, PE 4, PE just 26, right? Current PE 95. If you're gonna look at NVIDIA, it's kind of a mix of in the middle. I mean, I kind of like Broadcom. This is 38 and 48 right now, so the actual current PE favors AMD, so there might be something there. If you're looking at current, you know, future outlook there as a forward, that would be something to look at. And then here's Broadcom as well. So they're all quite extended into this, and I don't know what Intel's looks like now. Obviously, they're not making any money, so we'll have to wait to see what their PE looks like. They're forward one right now, projecting 37. So they're all in roughly the same area. So, you know, it's just a very, very story-based trade, right? I mean, there's the move down on Intel, on AMD, the move up on Intel, the move up on AMD, the move down on Intel. So, I mean, it's just like rotating money. Smart money is up here selling, and they're selling the worst company and buying the better one, and now you're seeing what's happening right now. Intel is basically just a scam. The government takes a stake there. It's probably them dumping it up here, right? I mean, not that the government can't do that. I don't know what. Maybe it's not. Maybe they have to hold for a certain period of time. I have no idea. But there it goes, all the way to the upside. Well, there's $5 billion for NVIDIA is like Jensen just blowing his nose. Like, I don't. That's not even a deal for NVIDIA, really.
There's 2 points to make too before we get to taking to something else. One point is the implication that it could be a little bit pay for play in that you get a China deal if you do what the government wants and helping out Intel. The second part of it is Jensen specifically said, and some people are disappointed, and we mentioned this in the chat, that there is no part of foundry. There's no foundry deal. And here's the reality. Intel's not getting a foundry. They're not getting NVIDIA as a foundry customer when they don't fabricate their own advanced chips. If Intel can't fabricate their own advanced chips, why would someone like NVIDIA be like, okay, we'll trust you to fabricate ours? Once Intel gets over that hump, I think they would have a shot because of things like this to be able to get one of the big clients, and maybe the U.S. government would have some kind of a hand in that. But until you can prove that you're trusting your own fab process to make your own advanced chips, how are you supposed to get anybody else? Just wanted to throw that one out there. I should have said that.
Look, I had 400 shares. I just got out of 75 shares. So I don't, you know, like it's not even a quarter. I got it at 20% of the position on Intel. I just got out right now. I'm ringing that damn register. Pay the man right there on Intel. We'll take it, man. It's 50-something% in the money. I'm taking it out. That's it. And now we'll put that money to work for a new hockey stick or something like that. All right.
Get a new hockey stick.
She did get a new hockey stick. She has new everything. It's going crazy. But I would change it for absolutely nothing in the world. All my money is for the kids and my wife, so as you can clearly tell by the way I dress. Okay, let's go back over to the desk with Sharif.
Before we do, however, 14 years and 0 hacks, 0 excuses, BTCC.com delivers when others don't. You can trade Bitcoin up to 400x, even Tesla, gold, and Forex. With smart copy trading, you don't just watch the pros, you can trade like them. Regulated in the USA, Canada, and Europe, and trusted by 6.8 million traders. And there's a Trader TV Live exclusive. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description box for a 15% deposit bonus. BTCC.com, where the pros trade, and now so can you. And with that, we can go over to SOFI. It's SoFly.
All right, guys, SoFi with a great day, up 5% today on the back of this upgrade here from Mizuho. Maintaining that outperform rating, but boosting the price target from 26 to 31. And here's why. They say the bank processors and their consumer lenders and exchanges are best positioned to benefit from interest rate cuts, as well as SoFi's strong rate-driven outlook warrants, guys, according to Mizuho, a higher valuation multiple. The analyst tells investors in a research note. And there's barely any red candles here on my half-an-hour chart on SoFi, up 5%.
So I showed you guys the monthly chart on SoFi. If you think it can't go more than what it's already done, I present Exhibit A, which is Robinhood's monthly chart. And there is no Exhibit B, it's just Exhibit A. Robinhood's monthly chart, when it had pretty much the same setup and broke out, and the best thing about it, it closed the month above, and then the following month held support above the prior high, and it has done, you know, the next couple of months have obviously been spectacular for Robinhood, and they're going in the index. Maybe SoFi joins them at some point in the next couple of years. I would like to think the answer to that is a resounding yes. I think pretty much everyone in fintech that's going to be ahead of them in terms of getting into the S&P, I feel like is already in. So I'm not sure who else would be next over them. And some people say MSTR. I'm like, I don't get that personally, but anyways, this month I think is all you got to do is close the month above, and then hold it next month, and I think you get the next leg to the upside, and that marks a great turn in SoFi. As for today, it's very program trading, with the first hump happening here at 28.5. So it's been straight shot to the upside, and now is lingered at that, you know, to that 28.50 level. So I think it usually will be looking for a reversion. It doesn't really have a clean trend line break, unfortunately. So I might look for a topping tail wick, like a false break of the high, maybe the only way that I would try to do a short reversion here on SoFi. But I love that monthly chart. It's great. I haven't sold any since selling after earnings. I plan on just holding and looking for an opportunity to maybe buy through this monthly high. But that's a story for a couple of weeks from now.
Yeah, I sold some SoFi at $24. It continues to go higher, so I mean, I really like that trade. Now, this is why, you know, when I say like I'm selling stuff, I just told you like I sold, I don't even know what that math was, roughly 20% there of Intel. We do the same thing with SoFi. Now we just hold the rest, right? I mean, it's been a big, huge winner. I can't believe it's back at days high or all-time highs. I mean, we were buying this name $5, $6, $7, and it's ripping higher. Like, the market is a euphoric situation, and I mean, right now, this is pretty epic. Like, why is SoFi right now is 3 times, it's up 300% from its April lows, right? You just looked at Robinhood there as well. If you look at Robinhood, I think it's up nearly 3 times as well from its April lows. It is up. They both moved exactly the same since April. So I would say I would rather sell both of them. I think get something out at these levels and then, you know, see if you can extend higher. I mean, if you're sitting on 400%, 500%, 600% profit, I think at some point there's money to be taken out, right? And so I would say here, we always talk about it, man. Don't be the one caught holding the bag. This is buy the rumor, sell the news. So SOFI Robinhood right here is getting added to the S&P 500. So I don't think it's going to be 123 next week. I don't know what's going to be tomorrow. We'll have to see what happens there. But I would just be careful that you could get a pull down. That's SOFI's chart. I don't know why it's SOFI's, not Robinhood. I'll just be careful for a potential pull down in Robinhood off of the inclusion there, right? And so that's all. I mean, it's happened many, many times before. We don't need to sit here and go over that. You can look at Palantir, Uber, Airbnb, like all these names kind of did the same things too, right? And so you'll see SoFi and Robinhood, they could drop offerings and things like that. I mean, you want to talk about PEs? Let me just see something here. I have no idea, so we're going to do this together live. Let me check what SoFi's PE is, right? SoFi 49 and 54. You could just get JP Morgan at 15. And then Robinhood also 57 and 60s. So again, love the stock. I'm glad a lot of people made a lot of money in it, but I think it's time to ring the register on both of these names for at least a portion of your portfolio. All right.
Better ring the register on this.
Yeah, another name, BREA here. Let's go find out that story because it was an interesting one earlier, halted all morning. Yep. So let's go get this story here from Sharif.
Brera, guys, up 400%, but well off the highs. It's a 53, essentially dollar high. We're trading at around 38.5, and here's why we're up. Brera announced an oversubscribed $300 million private placement to establish Soulmate, a Solana-based digital asset treasury and crypto infrastructure company. It's being backed here by UAE-based Pulsar Group with support from the Solana Foundation as well. The investment aims to enhance shareholder value through, yes, the accumulation and staking of Solana and the development of new revenue streams. Just one of these high flyers, guys, that we've seen add crypto onto their treasury, their corporate treasuries, and their stock skyrockets as a result.
Yeah, I think the play might be if you know that that's not that you could have done it with this one because, like I said, it halted, like it essentially halted right away and then halted for like an hour and a half. So it might have been a little bit different, but at the end of the day, this is the float is only 1 million shares, so it's not about how much of the float is short. It's about the fact that there's just not a lot of available shares at all. So anybody that's short, there's just limited supply, which could be the reason for that crazy halt. Unfortunately, I think this one ends the same way that they all do. So maybe you get a day or two out of it. That would mean today holding VWAP and, I'm going to use QMMM as an example because I think that's maybe the best corollary that that I can find. Anyways, so there we go. Load back. Come on, QMMM. There we go. Like it did the first day, pulled back, and then just found itself a level where you got a couple of days out of it after that. So, it went 1 day rally, don't get trapped at the top on the first day of the rally. You can see it made its high on the first day, and then it made a bounce off of essentially the same price at like $72 a few times here. And it's that settle down point that if you made some money out of it, you're looking to get in, like wait for it to do something like this, because day one was, if you didn't get it on the first day on QMMM, then it was pretty pointless to try to chase it late in the day. So I'm not out here advocating if this does the same thing. This is the crazy day one. You want to look for it to settle somewhere. And then QMMM has actually held that level for 4 days now, and you've been able to get some bounces after the fact. To me, that's what you're waiting for here on BREA instead of trying to chase the potential drain, because usually the high made on this first day recently has been it.
All right, so let's just quickly have a quick look at what crypto's been doing today. Nice little rebound, right? I mean, we were talking about this when these Bitcoin and Ethereum were both up about 1%. It looks like Ethereum's starting to go. That was 4,500 earlier, now up to 46. We definitely like that one. Ripple, again, up 3%. Binance Coin almost breaking that $1,000 mark. That should be pretty cool. Look at Solana go. Impressive. That is for sure. Up another 6% goes Solana. Like, that's like... Man, pretty soon my crypto portfolio is going to be out-portfolioing my equities. There goes Cardano right now too, 93 cents as well. So I mean, everything is working, and this is what I'm talking about. Like I've already said it, and this is not cherry picking. Like I told you, I own more Solana, Cardano, and Ripple than I do Ethereum. Bitcoin's going to be my #1 hold there, but it might not. some of these names might be getting a little bit too much as well. So when I think about just like when you see things going off in Intel land or SOFI and Robinhood, I think at some point some of these names do have moves back in. I mean, just look at what Solana has. It has a top coming up right now around 300, right? So here's Solana against the US dollar. So this is not a daily chart. We want to look at that. That high is 3 bills. And I mean, it's not even like it was that long ago. This was at $100. So you're again up 2.5 times since those lows. And then that's just that, let alone, you know, what we've been doing on Solana when we were starting. I mean, a lot of people were buying this name. I mean, you got to go all the way back to November of 21 when we were already here. So you're coming up too, and this is what, I mean, I can only point these things out. Like, I don't know if this is going to happen again, but you're right into here right now. So some of that we just bought at 200, I have to go in to find out what my average price is. But, you know, right there, you get 50 bucks, you get a quarter, you get 25% gain. And we just recently bought this last month. So that's 25% in a month. I just feel like sometimes there's a lot of euphoria here in this space, and it may be worth taking advantage of some of that. Here's Ripple as well, a very, very similar take right there. My last buy was right here at 280. I mean, we were talking about 280 this whole time, so there it is. And then look, can we get to 360? I mean, even if we do, that's, again, a decent spot to hold. But there's so many traders that are waiting to get rich off of all this, and I hope it happens. And if it does, hopefully I'll be right there with you. But I do think that there is some profit-taking necessities at some point during these runs. So there we go. Yeah, I got Solana. There you go, Ozan. There you go. Congratulations. I mean, that's the thing, right? You could sit here and talk like I can say anything I want to, but until you actually get out, then it doesn't matter. So there you go, Ozan, 170 and selling on the way up. So either put stops in or, you know, things like that. That's a good thing about the crypto market, right? It's 24 hours. So, you just put your stop in. If you want Solana to break 240 and you get out, just put that order in and it'll get filled. So
you can also stake too. That's the other advantage with going direct instead of. And I'm not like this is not. I'm not trying to dig on these treasury, like a lot of these treasury plays, but sometimes going directly allows you to stake and then get a bit of a return as well.
Yeah, but I mean 3 or 4%, like.
But it's just
fine.
It's the alternative. Like I think there's less there's smaller rinse risk than these crazy BREAs and QMMMs, and then you get a little something out of it. That's why I don't see the reason.
The only problem with staking is you can't unstake.
No, but that's sort of the thing. Like if you're doing this whole take profit the whole way through, like for myself, my Solana that I have in Coinbase is 75% staked because I'll know that I'll want to take profit on 25% of it at some point.
Right.
Which hasn't happened yet. But like I'll never stake it. I don't know. It's just me. Like I don't stake all. Actually, this is untrue because I recently sold some ETH, so now all of my ETH is 100% staked. But I'll usually keep 20 to 25% not staked so that I can take profit if something stupid happens. Because I want to be able to be reactive in crypto. I think you want to be able to be reactive in Open Door as well when you're trading that thing, because flat bottom break alert.
All right, guys. Open Door down a little bit less than 2% today. No real headline, though, but we saw this one move aggressively when Jerome Powell announced the 25 basis point cuts yesterday to the tune of about 14.5%. But it's this headline that caught my attention. The pharma bro, known as Martin Shkreli, he defended his short position in Open Door as the stock rallied aggressively yesterday. Shkreli, who shorted at $9.36 per share, called Open Door fundamentally broken, despite knowledge of the new CEO appointment and his pay package based on the stock's price. The stock short interest remains high, guys, at about 26.6%, still holding out relatively well given yesterday's price action.
So Open Door, I went back to review my note that simply said $10 and $11. And if I'd only traded at $10, obviously I'd be up on the stock because I wanted it to squeeze to 11. I know I wanted it to squeeze at 11 through 11, and it just didn't want to. So I looked at that Fed price, not the Fed price, like where we settled yesterday, and the late afternoon high at the close, which is about this 1035. And every time it would break out above that price, I would take the long. And both those breaks stunk. That said, the dip into 10 was kind of easy. Like it dipped into 10, and that gave you the move into said level. So it was an easy 3 points, like playing the 10 level, which is still holding, by the way. Like this, it's the only thing good right now is that the 10 is holding, the $10 level is holding. And now when I said flat bottom break alert, obviously it holds until it doesn't. So 10 is the level. It's not getting to 11, barring a minor miracle today. I can draw a trend line, say it could easily just break this all-day trend to the downside and go up. Maybe it gets along off of that. But otherwise, if that doesn't happen, I think you're in risk of this breaking down. We have free locates because we checked. I'm pretty sure it's so liquid it's probably easy to borrow, obviously. But yeah, if this breaks 990, I think you could have one of those moments like we saw in the afternoon where you get a bit of a flush. I did just get out of that net scope. The first time I've actually gotten it right. Bit of a bottoming tail wick here. I just sort of saw it do this. And I'm like, okay, well, that's whatever. It's actually not doing anything after the fact, but it looked like a reversal candle to me. So I just threw a trailing stop in. I'm like, yeah, if it comes back above and breaks 40, I'll just get out because that looks like a bit of a bottoming tail candle. So I am looking at open this afternoon for that breakdown under 990. It could do a trend break to the upside and be another long off 10. But first look will be the flat bottom break.
Yeah, no, not yet. Open door, look, we talked about this earlier, this exact same level, and it basically did nothing except for get to the upside. So I think you want to try to long in and around this area, and then if you're able to, win on it, you have an easy stop. So it's like 10 cents. These are exactly the kind of trades that I look for, where you have 5 to 1, 6 to 1, 7 to 1. I'll explain it, and hopefully, we're able to grab it. So I would just say for right now, there's not enough juice in this to do anything, I don't think. So it might be better to wait until we break through 1020, then maybe ride that to the upside, and then use VWAP as a level. But yeah, I think there is something about this break into the close of 990. Maybe that will help for sure. All right, each year over 4 million concussions are reported in the US, yet there is still no FDA approved treatment. So you have to look at NYSE listed Oragenics, who's trying to change that right now with their first-in-class intranasal drug designed for rapid brain access. With the concussion treatment market projected to reach almost $9 billion by 2027, Oragenics is uniquely positioned to lead the way. Make sure you do scan that QR code and get going with Oragenics immediately. So open door is just, let me just double check what the short float is on open door, and then that could be something that winds up spiking the stock as well. So there, short, 26%. So still a decent short float on that. And I mean, the amount of shares is nice, 167 million shares short. Could be something there for open door again to go. So yeah, I think I like it. If you take the long now, you have 12 cents worth of risk. So you take 1,000 shares, it's $120. Deal with it. If it goes up and if it goes down, you have your stop order. I don't know. It's not that interesting to me today. 213 million shares. Microsoft. Look, we're just going to go through all this. Robinhood's going to be real quick. Let's go over to Sharif. We'll talk about Robinhood, then we'll get back.
Yeah, Sean, Robinhood having a good day, up 3.5%. There's no specific news today for Robinhood, but it could be running in sympathy with Bullish, who had a really good earnings yesterday. And there was this headline as well. Cathie Wood's ARK Innovation buying about a little bit less than 34,000 shares of Robinhood yesterday. So not a bad look, and a nice hold there of this key area low back into the 120s, boys.
And remember, getting added to the S&P, it could be just rallying into that. Buy the rumor, sell the news. It's not a rumor anymore. We know what's happening. Effective at the close tomorrow. So Monday morning, you'll see your newest member of the S&P 500. At least for now, Robinhood has failed. It's kind of pulled back off the all-time high break. It's done this several times because the stock that continues to make all-time highs will have pullbacks, and then every pullback you get to say it pulled back off the all-time high. For this afternoon, maybe we can break trend off of VWAP here, something along those lines. It's not really that crazy active. I promise you tomorrow, Robinhood at the close it'll be exciting one way or another. It's just a matter of how it's going to end up setting up. But yeah, this doesn't really seem like too much of a trade here. I know tomorrow it's certainly going to be one. I did want to point out I saw a lot in the chat have been mentioning AMD and Palantir, both of those. For Palantir, it just made another high. For AMD, obviously AMD's down a bunch today. It's making fresh highs today, AMD, in the afternoon. But obviously from where it was in the pre-market, it is still technically down. But it could go green. AMD is fighting to go green on the day on the heels of that Intel and NVIDIA partnership. And PLTR, Palantir, has made another fresh high. Remember, these guys had news during the Fed conference. They got another deal, expanding their defense program with the UK, and it bounced so clean off the 50-period moving average. Looks like it's headed back into those all-time highs here for Palantir. Clean off the 50-period. That's why you have stink bids if you like certain stocks at the 50 or 200. Sometimes you don't get it. Apple will be an example of that for myself, but sometimes you do. Amazon would be a good example of getting a stink bid. But if you don't have it in, you don't get it.
Yeah, I'm going to be getting out some pounds. I'm going to put an offer at 180. That way, when it fills tomorrow, I just get out and I don't have to worry about it. I sold some at 160. We'll sell some more at 180 there. And Marvell's Marvell has been, another 5% today. This stock, we've been talking about all kind of hotness on this stock, man. We had Marvell long just the other day for $2, and there it goes again right now. Marvell picking out the 50-period moving average, and now above where it was on earnings day. So, yeah, man, like, what happened there? We were watching that live, and I was like, oh, God, there goes Marvell down 20%. Like, what? This is a player. And then now it's all the way back and going higher. So Marvell putting some of this in our pockets here again. But yeah, for Robinhood, I've already said my piece. If you get a stock that's up 300% in 4 months and you don't trim anything, that's on you. I don't know if I have no idea what it's going to do moving forward, but I'm a rule-based guy. And that's a rule. So I don't know, it's topping out here. Maybe it's not, but I'm happy with it, and we'll get out. And again, there's really no rule. It's just that we're in this level right here. Like, we came up, we made the move back in, hit the 50-period moving average, then retakes out the highs. So I think if you put a stop order around 120 or something like that for Robinhood, you're not going to be disappointed, except for the day that it opens up at 109 and you miss that trade. So that would be the one worry there for Robinhood. But again, congratulations for that trade. It looks like if you just did, I mean, I didn't do it, and I wish I would have. We would have just bought Open Door. I mean, maybe it comes down to $10 again, but you got 3 pennies there. We'll see if Rob, now 4 pennies. We'll see if Open Door wants to continue to go to the upside. We did have Mr. Jimmy Kimmel lost his, he didn't lose anything. He actually is the winner out of all this because now he gets to take time off and still get paid. And
he's getting paid, and the show's not officially. It's like it's on
the show's going to be canceled.
Oh, of course it will. But then the example I would use is look at Tucker.
Tucker Carlson?
Yeah, look at Tucker when he left. Things worked out pretty well.
Oh, yeah. This guy's
it's not a direct comparison.
This guy makes like $50 million a year.
Yeah, the point is these guys are fine, and the opportunities when they leave are pretty gigantic.
Yep. So anyways, even if he does nothing for the rest of his life, he'll make much more money. Have made much more money than all of us, unless there's somebody in the chat here that is loaded. But right there, 115.50 for Disney. I just wanted to look at it today because there was some talk about Disney today and if there was going to do anything. And I mean, right off the open there, it didn't do much. I mean, sure, you're down 1% today, but not every single market is up today, right? I mean, Palantir is a monster, so up 6%. We had Palantir written down here on our sticky note to get long, but it never dipped. So the only thing we punched long was Google. Well, we punched long, first of all, NVIDIA and Google, both were top breaks. Google didn't work. NVIDIA, whatever. I'm tired of saying it's the number one stock because it doesn't matter. All right, there's NVIDIA, 4% right there. Huge day today. I wish there was an opportunity to have bought more down there, and there was. It just didn't get low enough for me. Here's consumer services, McDonald's. There's our Disney, so that's what brought me to this. There's Comcast as well. So I just think that, like, if politics is really going to play a force in media, then yeah, there probably is some not Charter as well, communications. There's some downside.
There's something happening in
flow here. In what?
No, it was Time Warner was moving.
Oh, Time Warner, TWX. There used to be a symbol there. Okay, we can look at Time Warner in a minute. Here's consumer non-durables again. It's nice to own these stocks when tech is not moving, but we already said yesterday that this was going to be. And you can rewind this a couple of days. I mean, I don't think it's rocket science. I said that this cut was going to be huge for tech and crypto, and the rest will have to wait their turn. So that's what's happening today. It's a little bit of a rotation back into some of those aggressive names. Here's my guy. What's up, Lulu? That's a name that we made a bad call on going long right before earnings around, I think it was 203, 204, 205, something like that. I bought the CDR, and then it made a move all the way down, and we bought some more, so now we're averaged into that one. I think I checked earlier today, we're down about 12% still on Lulu, but again, I like that stock. I think that can continue to work higher with, again, not a very high PE. And then right into here, Oracle down again, another 1% for Oracle. So Oracle's back below $300 now, $298. So they had that huge OpenAI discovery there, and then now it's starting to edge down to the back end. And, Oracle with that that kind of a move, almost, with that kind of a market cap, you don't kind of see 40%, and that's why I believe it's coming back. This is the name that I like into space, IBM. I recently were dip buying CRM a couple quarters ago.
I like some IBM.
PanW's great. CrowdStrike, I mean that.
Monster today.
Yeah, this is great. Like, we bought CrowdStrike, I think it was, as Jared says, yeah. This,
no, it was the day after the crash.
Yeah, right into here on whatever this big move down was there. And it has really retraced back up. So this is more than 100% winner. Like, this is why I tell you, day trading is not, it's great, it's fun to do, it's a great side gig, there's no doubt about that, okay? But investing is where real wealth is made, okay? It's made by picking the right stocks, holding on to things, collecting dividends when dividends are available. Throwing your money away, day trading is great to have some fun with, and if you see some potential swing trades, that's fantastic. But honestly, that CrowdStrike, I mean, look at PanW off of their miss. And I take this from Kramer. I mean, I have been trading this way since I was 18, right? So about 10 years. And the thing is like, just buy best of breed. Like, I steal that from him, and that's all that I really do. Every single time a name goes down that I like, I try to buy it. And then the only time I wind up losing is when I do stupid things like buy Lululemon, whatever, buy things before earnings. Just buy stock that you like and buy it more when it dips down and hope and pray. That's what's happened in investing. S&P, Neil, has averaged over 13% the last 35 years.
You can't go wrong. Build a position even in S&P. They do the heavy lifting for you as well. Like, it's like how much I complained that I owned. Look, SOFI has been fine. It's just I also really liked Robinhood and never bought it. But I was like, I don't own Robinhood. Well, I have a bunch of S&P. Eventually, I'm going to. I know they are. It wasn't always. And at the time when Robinhood was doing better, I would complain about it a lot. I want to make a correction. I had said Time Warner, it's Thomson Reuters that's moving. There's no story I'm aware of, but Thomson Reuters, for whatever reason, was just cratering a little bit here. I did hear it in my ear, and then I looked at it and like, okay, well, what's going on here? Still no story that I'm aware of, so if something comes across the wire, we'll let you know. Probably not a stock, Thomson Reuters, that too many people are that interested in. I'm going to make the assumption. I could be wrong about that, but it doesn't seem like it'd be something that's in most people's portfolios. But yeah, for whatever it's worth, it is heading into the downside. There was that trend break. Open did break the downtrend from VWAP. It got all the way up to 12s from 5s. That's it so far. So 5 to 12, and now right back into the $5, 10.05 level, not the $5 level. Although I guess at some point the stock could see that again. And I do still have eyes on SOFI. It's not to say that, never mind. That candle just happened. Well, SOFI just broke the trend for sure to the downside. So this is the first heavy pullback in SOFI. Let's see if it actually puts in a lower high here before getting this. I did say I wasn't a fan of the trend break. I wanted to see like a false break of the high. That never happened. It looks like just a clean trend break here on SOFI. All-time high for them. It might not be an all-time high close if it keeps falling like this, but all-time high for SOFI, a little bit of a pullback coming in. And doing this without the market, because when a stock is up this much and trending like that, it doesn't have to have the market pull back for it to do it itself. Maybe watch out for Intel. I still want to short a pop in Intel, but it's just not. Yeah. There isn't a pop to be shorted. That's the problem. Like, it's not coming back into VWAP anytime soon. Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I mean, you guys know we got out of 20% of our Intel, so that's up. What's up, Thomas? Yeah, appreciate all the love there for sure. Okay, so yeah, he said he's long on Sean. I hope that's not it kind of doesn't sound that great, but all right. So the TQs have dipped back in. We've already taken out more than 25%, 35%. That's it of this trade. And I'm not going to reload until we get closer to 101. My stop out is 101. I want to give this a little bit of room to breathe, but I do think that, we're underneath the 200. We're underneath everything. I don't want to put a lot of risk into this play right here. We're still trying to recover. Like, I'm still red on the day, despite having basically one red name. It's just Google. Like, I told you guys we went hard into this, right? I mean, there it was there. There's the average in. That's when we really lost it all, was right there. Initially off of $1 break. you know, on that one. And then we were able to, we lost a little bit back in there, then we got the long again, and this one was a mistake. We talked about that. We got out in and out really quickly. I think that was relatively flat. And then what I was saying before too was real time, you know, was we were breaking it. Like, we put this trade on before it broke VWAP. We talked about we wanted that. I just wish I was a little more confident, and I put the same shares in this NVIDIA break that we did in the Google break. So, you know, we're going to be, we're not red that much. Like, I'm red half of what we made yesterday. So it's fine. It's just, you know, it's tough, right? So we'll wait to see. Like, I do have another offer up here. It's all position pending. I mean, we could turn our day around immediately. And it's not even, like, today on the month, I'm giving back less than half of 1%. I don't even, maybe something like that. But right into there, 177 and change. If we can get that out on NVIDIA, then I think that'd be pretty good. We're looking for I'm right now offering 196.97. So hopefully that will come in. The other dip buy opportunity that I'm trying to do in my longer term account is Alibaba. I'm sitting $10 lower. So hopefully we get a fill around 150. And again, like, this has just been really off. And I checked. I think I'm long 120 and change in the old account right here, because I've been long for a very long time and didn't buy any on the dip because I was like, I don't want any of this Chinese.
We were buying the 80s though.
Yeah, I think my average price is around 120 though. I thought I looked. So, but anyways,
that was Munger's.
Munger's long way higher than this.
I thought
he was buying this thing. This thing was a $300 name when he liked it. So I don't know. Again, like, I don't know, but yeah, you're right. Charlie Munger was definitely in this name. But I'm going to try to buy some right in around here, this little gap. So we've just had like an epic 5-day run, you know, on this. So any negative Chinese news is going to create something like this happening. So that's what we're going to sort of wait for here on Alibaba. So
I didn't realize he would have been out that badly.
Yeah, because if you look at when he passed away.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know. I just know that was his.
Yeah,
you know, that was his baby. It was his baby, not Warren's.
Yeah. So this is in the depths of hell in January. But yeah, I was down here for a long time. Maybe my average price isn't 120. I'll have to look. But yeah, so huge run up for Alibaba again. Like, that's another thing. Like, if you're long this name, this is the April bottom, 96. You know, you put $70 in your pocket, 70% win or so on this. Like, at some point, greed is going to get the best of everybody, and that's why I'm saying to you, like, take a little bit off when you see it, right? Buy yourself that nice sweater and take your wife out for a drink or dinner or something like that, because you do have to realize gains at some point when these stocks start going crazy like this, because you never know what that next story is, right? I mean, that could be the thing.
Well, the other thing is, and if you don't have
earnings have been great.
If you don't have any cash on hand,
there's that video.
Like, if a CrowdStrike happens, you know, like that day, you come in one day and CrowdStrike dips, or Apple has their iPhone event and creators are like, oh, I want to pick this up in that dip buy, or what the heck is Amazon doing that much down after its earnings? Well, if you don't have any cash in your account, then what are you going to do? You're going to sell something, and here's what I'll tell you this right now. Anytime I've been in the position where, like, oh, I want to do this, let me go sell something because this event is happening, I always pick the wrong thing to sell. That's because you're not thinking rationally in that point. You're just selling something because you want the cash as opposed to because you think it makes sense to. So always make sure you ring the register at least a little bit. We're going to go over to Adara, but I'm going to get into this SOFI off this lower high, as it looks like it could be pulling back. And I'm not sure it gets to VWAP, but nice little consolidation lower for the strong SOFI today. Adara?
This part of the show is brought to you by our friends at Beta Pro by Global X Canada. Global X just dropped 3 new Beta Pro ETFs on the TSX, including the first 3 times bull and 3 times bear leveraged ETFs in Canada for the Russell 2000. These give traders leveraged ways to play U.S. small caps. Plus, they launched a 1 times bear Nasdaq ETF. And here's the ticker. All Beta Pro 3 times and negative 3 times ETFs are getting their management fees cut to 0.65% through the end of 2025. Global X says that the Russell 2000 is a key gauge of market sentiment. This move gives traders a fresh way to bet on momentum in small caps. Scan the QR code for more information. Back to you.
Yes, thank you very much there, Adara. You got the, I mean, you can literally call them, I was just calling, we have them on our system too. Like, I can look at their SQQQ, talking about Beta Pro, that is.
SQQ, yeah, there it is. So it's the same as
there's a whole bunch of them. Obviously, if you're at Real Trading, you'd have to have Toronto entitlements to see those, obviously. But just another opportunity. And the good thing about it is we'll talk about the CDR sometimes for our personal accounts. Like, I know I almost exclusively have started, at least in the the TFSA and the RSP, where I can to use the CDRs, not have to worry about the whole currency hedge. It's very popular here in Canada. If you can't, you buy pretty much anything anything remotely large of a company will have a Canadian CDR that you can buy. That's just the way of the world these days. I don't really mess with the triple leverage stuff because you don't really invest in those. Those are trading vehicles for sure. So SOFI, the new one, still not much. Like opens. Like it broke. It's not getting to VWAP or anything. Like it went 05 to 12, and then back to like 2, and then back to 08. So it's kind of sliding slowly higher. At this point, Luis Valencia.
Yeah, what's up?
Why can't I short IonQ? Probably because it's not easy to borrow. I'm like 90% sure that I think we have to pay for locates on this stock.
Do we today?
No, we don't. Okay, so look, not every broker is the same. I thought maybe we had to pay for locates too on this. We can short IonQ, but that doesn't mean that we always can. There's plenty of symbols that might be, smaller cap, whatever they might be, where you have to pay for the locates. And for some brokers, they just don't have the free borrows on them, and that's all. And maybe you have a facility where you can pay for borrows. We can here at Real Trading. So yeah, I guess
I was gonna say, like, make sure you're on a margin account. I mean, yeah. I don't know how sort of educated was it John or whoever asked that question? Like,
Luis.
Yeah, you just gotta figure that out. You need to have a margin account if you're gonna go short on anything, and a deposit in there as well. So I don't know. There might be something to do with that, and it could also be hard to borrow. So.
Yeah, like D-Wave, we probably
maybe you can get.
Watch me say this, and then we can short this one too. Of course we can.
Of course, yeah. Maybe you can get into your broker's chat or whatever there is there and ask them about IonQ. Tell them some handsome gentleman at Trader TV.
Rigetti's not free, I can tell you that.
Do that. All right. Let's go. Money. Look, man, it's hard enough to make money every single day here. We talk about that, and we talk about how day trading is, although a very, very fun job, a very, very tough one, and not one where there's much success. So when you see these kind of moves higher here, I think it's worth taking. So we did not reload it there. We actually talked about this trade on the futures when it was at a reload spot there. I didn't take it. I wanted to go to watch $100 a little bit lower than that, but there it goes right back there. Now this time we get the 200 period moving average. So a little Barry Horowitz right here. We'll pat ourselves on the back and say that was a good idea because it's working out. So there it goes, man. This is the futures trading. The TQs is a triple levered. We talked about that with Global X there by Beta Pro. This is a Nasdaq one. I don't actually know. Let me see who actually sponsors this TQQ. It is Ultra Pro, so ProShares. So ProShares ETF right here 3 times. So you're going to get the Nasdaq divided by 3. So the Nasdaq's up 1.15% or so. Yeah, there it is. And it works perfectly. I trade this instead of the Nasdaq just because the Qs are $500-600. This is only $100. And then to your point, to Neil's point, to Jose's point there in the chat about shorting, I would just, if buying power is something that maybe you don't have, or you're looking to trade something that's a little lesser value, the SQQ is the same thing, but just reverted. So that's the thing, right? This is down 3.4%. The TQQs is up 3.4% or so. So that's the difference there. I would rather see, like right now, my account, and we don't show share size or anything, but if we did, I could tell you, we are right now all green in my blotter. So it shows like that the long is represented by a green. So for me, the way I've been here my whole life is I prefer trading things off of those colors rather than holding SQQ and hoping for something to go down when I know that that's not the case for me. But anyways, that's the difference there. And this may be hard to borrow. I don't know. For us, it's not going to be, and nor are the TQQs. So if you do want to get involved, I mean, look, we love Trade the Pool, fine, but they're not the best prop firm out there. The best prop firm out there is Real Trading. So that's who we trade with. Go find it out right now, realtrading.com. Get involved with them. Been here 24 years, traveled the world with these guys, opened up offices all around the world. It was great fun. Neil and I had an office ourselves, and it's definitely an opportunity there. But like I said, though, there's a great simulation. I think you got to test all your stuff out in sim before you do anything else, and then get going on that paper.
And lots of different products, too.
Yeah, lots of
believe it or not, we don't talk about it enough, but there's crypto here. There's actually Forex. European markets. I mean, heck, if you want to trade Brazil, you can trade Brazil. You can trade in Asia. You can trade Australia. Like it's there's so much here at Real Trading, no question. And like we just showed, like I actually thought we weren't going to have locates on IonQ. Like I wasn't trying to flex or anything. I was pleasantly surprised because all of those crazy quantum names we can short for free, which is another big advantage. And like it's an advantage of Real Trading being a really large firm.
All right.
So that certainly helps.
Yeah, Real Trading. Yeah, exactly. Most of the time I don't even consider. By the way, TQQ is trying to go right now, so woot woot on that one. So we have something called Trader Information Portal here at Real Trading, and this is where you can compare your profits. We have the learning module, which is called LMS, which we helped build way back in the day. We're improving that right now. There's the manual on the system that we use, the P-Pro8 platform that we have. Here's market guides. So if you just click on market guides, actually, I don't know, does this actually go there? Does it download everything? I don't know what this is going to do. But here we go. These are all the markets that we have here in the equity place. Blue Ocean, Bovespa, CBOE, CSE, Mexican.
We have Mexico, yeah. I don't know if anyone's traded it, but
Mexican Stock Exchange. What's story with tequila prices these days? I mean, I might have to go over to the Mexican Stock Exchange. The Nasdaq, this is what we're doing. OTC markets, what's up to the TSX? Here's our Asian Pacific offerings, Australia, Hong Kong, Singapore. And then here in, as Neil had mentioned there, all throughout, man, Oslo there as well, Austria, LSE, the London Stock Exchange coming through as well. Which one?
Saudi.
Nasdaq? No, Saudi, yeah. We launched that. We actually launched that on the air. We talked about that. And I was like, shout out to Ramin there. She's trading the Saudi exchange as we speak. She is not. And then we have right here Forex markets to trade that big old Canadian dollar there as well. And then look at all these futures, man. They're just listed here and going nuts. So that's what we're doing here at Real Trading. But that's not why I came here. I came here. There's another thing here called compare your profits. So right now, let's go find out. Money, 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 money. All right, so this is real money. I don't want to, we've had people on here and say, oh, yeah, I made $700,000. No, you didn't, my guy. These guys, this is real money being made right here at Real Trading. We don't fudge these numbers. This is what it is. And this is yesterday. So here's all the markets. And what it is that this is an individual trader. So number one would be an individual trader yesterday that traded both NASDAQ and New York. Okay, so that's $12,400 US. And all of this is US. And unfortunately, this is going to be womp womp. Where's my fail? Good numbers. But I was going to say, like, it's not highlighting what I wanted to highlight was the fact that you can make money in any market.
Well, it was a Fed day yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday was a Fed day.
It makes it skewed.
And I guess, that would make it skewed. And the thing is, like, you couldn't trade Europe because the Fed was after. Europe closes and then Fed hits, right? So Fed days normally aren't huge days, but it looks like yesterday there was something, that turbo day, there was somebody there that made NASDAQ 2 days ago, there was someone on that list that made 50 grand. Remember, we were in Turbo was a $5 name, and it went up $15, so it went up 3 times. Like, that's a situation where if you had 1,000 shares or something like that, it literally went up $15 or $16. So there are going to be some traders around here that may have taken many more than that, and I think that that's where that came from. So sometimes you can sort of
you make educated guess. Like, there was one day where we saw like the Amex was really high, and then it was kind of like there was this crazy move in KWeb. So it was pretty easy to, well, I don't want to, it was just you made an educated guess. Oh, someone probably crushed KWeb, the ETF. Because of what else could it have been? It's probably some kind of an ETF. I just wanted to quickly point out, it's only 3 o'clock, but Oracle already has a 2 million buy imbalance. Usually we won't even look at these until 3:30 or so, like when we get closer to the imbalances. Worth keeping an eye if you happen to be trading Oracle. There is a somewhat large imbalance on Oracle of 2 million shares. My guess is it's still selling off because Oracle, I mean, it's down. It's not selling off is the wrong word, but it's still down every single day outside of one since earnings. Oracle has been kind of a sell event.
More out futures.
Yeah, like there's one day, like basically, there we go. There was one day since earnings that Oracle has been able to have an actual real up day, and everything kind of leans toward that 290. So SOFI is starting to pull back here. It just got down to like 28.3, so we got 28.4, so there it is coming into the 30 level. VWAP sits at 27.9. Look, I still like SOFI, and it's probably going to close at an all-time high today. It's just a bit of a trend break. Actually, I didn't know exactly.
If it doesn't, I mean, it's such a huge move.
It doesn't really matter.
Back or not a couple points or whatever.
I think it was like 28.10. I don't know. It might actually be 28.30 something. So
what,
it's
the
on
all-time high?
The all-time high. I was just eyeballing. I didn't bother looking it up because it didn't really matter to me that much. Like on my personal account, I'm not selling any today because we already did like $5 ago. But yeah, I actually thought that SOFI was going to do that thing it usually does after earnings, which is go down.
28.30.
So it is 28.30. Okay, so it's pretty much right there.
Yeah, you're right there. You already called up a monthly chart. Here it is right here.
Love that.
That's when you talked about like what Robinhood did and broke that, right? So there it is right there. Huge move down, huge move up, huge move up. So where do you think the next move is, my guys? All right, so that's SOFI. That's on a monthly chart. So all right, you guys can have a quick look over there and see what's going on with that one. I was also debating getting some more out of JP Morgan, and maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do that some of that tomorrow on Friday and just see how that reacts. All right, man. I mean, more fruit salad. Man, it's such a nice tune. Yeah, in a minute, my guy. Right there, 101.70. You know, more outs there. Here's the 200 period moving average. Boom, more outs right there, right? Like I said, I can't predict what's going to happen, but all I can do is read the charts and throw some experience at this thing, and then there's a couple more outs for us. I'm not actually happy that we keep on bouncing off this 200 period moving average, so your boy has changed up his mind. I'm not getting out at $101 anymore. We're going to get out if it breaks this thing. I mean, it definitely doesn't want to go up. That's 101.26. So here we go, man. Another green name in ye old account here for today because we cannot lose on this trade. We've taken it out, and now we'll get out for a 5-cent loss if it does break. So let's put this in live together. 101. Let me find out what exactly that is. That's 25. Sounds good to me. 101.24. And here at Real Trading, we have the opportunity to put in these kind of cool stop orders where if you just tab down, you can select 25%. Well, I'm doing it right here. I don't know if you guys can see this, but you could select 25%, 50%, 75%, or one hunge. Hunge right there. Oh, what's up, Adara?
Just to let you guys know, NVIDIA, interesting headline here. So, of course, they were in the UK there. Jensen Huang, CEO, was in the UK for these investments. I just saw this headline here come across X. NVIDIA to invest £2 billion to boost UK's AI startups. I looked into this. This actually was just released by NVIDIA as a press release at 2 p.m. That seems to be more kind of a summary of their AI investment. So just so you guys know, in case you see a headline floating around here about NVIDIA investing these £2 billion to boost UK's AI startups, this is just released via a press release of NVIDIA, but it looks like it's just kind of a repeat of what we already knew. We knew they were going to be investing in the UK, but apparently specifically in AI startups, roughly, again, £2 billion. Some context for this headline. Back to you.
Oh, someone just said open doors going way down. Damn you, open doors. See,
it did break that flat bottom break.
Do you have it? Oh, you do. Oh,
I got
have 987. Okay, that's good. At least you have it. Because I was like, I didn't even good that you have it.
I just pulled up figures.
Here's the price you have. Doesn't really matter. I mean, it does matter. We always want to have the best price, but that was a good break. So there it is right there. That's the trade that we were talking about. Break this level, and then I'll let Neil give it out wherever he wants it to. But for me, I'd be trying to hold this probably back to 9.15 or 10.15 or 10.10.
Well, the prior bar is 10.05.
Yeah, okay.
That's generally my rule. On a breakout or breakdown, I kind of keep the same rule and just kind of go with like this exit here, which is 10.05. Like the prior bar before, unless it's something crazy. Like if the prior bar is like $10 high, obviously I'm not going to use that, but I'll go with the prior bar as the out. I think yesterday we saw what happened when it lost the $10 level, and then even after it bounced and held VWAP here, it still had this flush from 10 down to 920. So open door, just gonna play the reverse. I might be able to get some on the way back up through the 10, back into $10. But I'm a little confused because Coffee Trader made a comment here in the chat. And I was just curious. I noticed you haven't looked at Figure, the IPO. And I don't think any of us have looked at Figure since the IPO. I'm like, I know I haven't. And I was just curious, like, what in particular. I mean, I know it's going up today because anything in the space was. But for us, a lot of the times when we're trading the IPO, this is done way better than I thought. Like, this is.
Yeah, I mean, we always keep making fun of the IPO.
Well, we've been making fun of them. And this was another one where the first couple of. It opened up, there was a small push, and then dumped. And a lot of times for us, when you're taking that IPO open trade, it's like, okay, well, it does what it does, and if I'm not looking to invest in it, like, who cares? But that was a mistake. Because this is the only IPO recently that I can think of in the tech space that's actually held a low, and then trended higher. This one has been good. We've been bagging on all of them. We're bagging on every single one of these, and meanwhile, Figure has been doing a good job. So that's apologies for A, not looking at it, B, you shouldn't ever ignore something that's in play, right? Like, give it a couple of days. Is it showing a pattern? Is it worth it? This one is clearly showing an up pattern, and a good one. Dips here into a prior high, then holds that same dip yesterday on the Fed. Well, that's a pretty decent sign of strength. Then breaks out the same consolidation from the afternoon. Like we said, let the Fed guide you. Well, the Fed levels, let them guide you. We saw what happened with Palantir. Palantir was the biggest ripper, one of the biggest rippers in the afternoon. So what's going today? Palantir. The Figure is the best IPO in a while in terms of follow through. So what did you follow through today with the Figure IPO? Now whatever. You know, it's a missed opportunity. I'm hoping you're mentioning it because you got the long in this. But you know, it just goes to show, like, watch for those patterns, play the trend. I guarantee you, if that had broken down, I probably would have been looking short in it. But great long. That's all I got to say. Great long. It's got music and everything.
Dara pushed.
My bad.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, we have the trade of the day all the time. We can go over that at any time. You can ask us anything about Neil or myself's trades, what our days are looking like, green, red, what our number one stocks are, what our number one losing stocks are, what is our trade of the day, which one are we, most happy with, least happy with. I think that's how we all learn. So I love the trade.
Well, I'm least happy with Open, most happy with Palantir. That's easy because I broke my rules on Open Door. Yeah. I said in my note I like $10. And then my two bad trades were 1040 and 1046, straight up, and they were really bad trades. But like the $10 trades were all good. Like they're tight stops on the $10 trades. And the way I look at it is win, lose, or draw. The point is they were at the price I wanted, and then I had good risk to reward, like good tight stops on them. It didn't really matter one way or another. Oh, and then Palantir was a miss at the open, but then it gave you VWAP. And then, like, if it gives you VWAP, you try to take it. It was also a miss yesterday because I didn't zoom out to see that it was bouncing off the 50-period moving average until we were looking at it a little bit later. And then remember, Palantir had news. It's not completely random. Palantir with another contract. They get lots of contracts, but the simple fact that the announcement came during the Fed, it was exactly the kind of thing that you might have missed. Because who actually announces, like, when do you see deals announced while Powell's on the podium? But because the president was he might still actually be in the UK, that deal got announced while Powell was on the podium. I think Trump's probably still in the UK. But,
I think Palantir's, it's aggressive for that reason today, but if the Nasdaq is up, Palantir is going to be up more than the Nasdaq, and same way on the way down. So it's been such a bull run, and this is part of the reason why Figure's up today, of course, because we had Bullish IPO last night, report last night. So, and a name that's also a crypto play, Bullish. Continues to rip. I mean, now up 20%. And Bullish yesterday, they threw down a profit, an unexpected profit of $108 million there, 93 cents a share, ending June 30th. They lost $116 million the previous year's quarter. So a complete 180, like from losing 120 to making 108. So good job there for Bullish. Adjusted loss though, still losing though. The number that I just gave you was posted a profit there. The adjusted earnings and revenues, stripping out one-time items, they still posted a loss of just $6 million. So that's not that bad right there as well. The adjusted revenue came in at $56 million. That's down a little bit year over year, but again, it looks like Bullish continues to want to be bullish here today. Total assets up, right? 58 billion versus 49 billion. So we saw that was a big case with Robinhood once they started to get more assets on their books. Then it started to go climbing high side. Because remember something, when you have money, when you're giving your money over there to Robinhood or to wherever, that money sits somewhere and they can earn interest on that. So the more money that is available to these guys, the more they can expand and whatnot. So the trading volume reached 179 billion, which is 133 billion is their previous quarter. So they're definitely experiencing a bullish run due to the crypto space absolutely going off right now. So, and again, we talked about that yesterday, that I said the biggest winners, I think, was going to be the IBIT. It was interesting to see IBIT down a little bit there yesterday. IBIT and Ethereum, I thought, had a good opportunity to go. In talking about longer term investments, I mean, Boeing has had a really nice pullback as well. I'm thinking that this is probably a buy the dip opportunity. And I always have the philosophy of between like roughly, everything I do is roughly 10% in cash in like my long-term portfolio. And even in my swing account, I'd like to have a little bit of cash in there as well, so that when things happen like this, you can buy. Now, whether or not, we did a video there, I think it's doing pretty good. It is a YouTube short where Ramin asked me if I had 10 grand, what would I invest it in? And I said I'd leave that 10% in a high yielding cash account, or at least there's something called Cash in Toronto that I use.
Yeah.
So
this is probably a US equivalent.
Oh yeah, lots. I'm just talking about this. I have most of my money is tied up in Canadian dollars, but well, not really. All my American stuff are just the stocks that I own, so I don't really want to sell. Whenever I do put it into cash. So there are U.S. equivalents to this, but anyways, it pays it's always going to look like this. It pays a monthly dividend, so it rips up, then they pay it, then it rips back up, then they pay it, then it rips back up, then they pay it. So this is just a very, very consistent thing here. You can't pick. It's just going to be the same, like that didn't happen, but it's going to be basically the same return based on interest rates and everything. So with interest rates getting cut, this little thing probably starts to tick a little bit lower right there, but this is something called cash.
You got to send that.
So I think this is like, I'm not sure. I think it's 2.5%, 3%, something like that in cash there. And then so what you can do is, as you can see, the bid and the ask has millions of shares and it doesn't move. So all you really do is, if you need cash, you're gonna have to pay whatever your broker charges you to get in and out. I mean, this is like an ETF. They may charge you nothing. I don't think so on this one. That's how they make money. But going back in and out there, if you need some cash and then you got it, and then you go from there. So that would be something for me to tell you guys that I use there, instead of just sitting in straight cash, homie. You like to put a little bit to work there. So even if it's sitting there, look, if you put in there 30 grand and you make 3% a year, like that's nothing, right? That's a grand.
It's just easy in and out. You're sitting in it anyway.
It's a grand for free.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and
anytime you sell something and don't put it into an index, to not put it in that makes. I'm still chuckling about that wick.
Oh yeah.
It's one thing when there's a dark bull wick that
you didn't get short up here.
It actually traded at that price at some point.
Yeah, sometimes there's all these different gateways, and I think what winds up happening is, if there's some sort of an erroneous print or something that winds up going on, it corrects it like in FINRA or whatever, but then we don't go back and edit those candles. So unfortunately, that's what it looks like. And before, I'm going to throw back to Neil, but I just want to say, like, there's another out. So I am now percentage points away from being flat on NVIDIA. We got 177. We're long at 174.25. So like, I wanted to hold this all day. Always think we need more shares, and we always do. Whenever you have a winning trade, you need more shares. Whenever you have a losing trade, you need less. So yeah, all right, let's go over to Adair.
Yeah, just be aware here, Donald Trump, I guess this Fox interview is pre-recorded. I can't find it anywhere, but it seems like it's being released right now live. And one of the comments Trump made in this interview is, quote, "It sounds like China has approved TikTok." So Donald Trump saying that, as far as he can tell, China seems to have approved their TikTok deal. Keep an eye on Oracle, which of course is said to be one of the groups involved in this deal. Keep an eye on Meta and Snapchat as well, competitors for TikTok. But again, this is not confirmation. This is Trump saying that it seems like China has confirmed the deal. He also said something else here. They're very close to trade and TikTok deals with President Xi of China. So close to trade and TikTok deals. He actually believes that China already approved the TikTok deal as well. Comments coming from U.S. President Donald Trump. I'll keep you all informed, and back to you.
Wow, Oracle really didn't move on that.
Because ain't no deal been approved. What is even going on? This guy has...
The thing is, a TikTok deal would be, you know how you know immediately? Like, a TikTok deal is one of those sort of signs toward a general U.S.-China agreement. So the futures would spike one way or another. There'd be a big volume spike across the board everywhere. Like, you'd see NVIDIA spike, you'd see the Q spike, you'd see S&P spike. Like, all that kind of stuff would go crazy for at least a couple of minutes on a headline like that. So, you know, we do still, obviously we want there to be a deal. I think it's one step,
I hope there is. But.
Yeah, it's one step forward to finally resolving things between the U.S. and China for good. In terms of, instead of just pushing everything down the line, which keeps on happening over and over and over again. They just keep pushing the deadline and
it's just, you can't, this is not a political statement. It's just when investing, you can't trust anything that Donald Trump says is vesting-wise because they're pushing out the deals. Like that China deal got pushed out to December 17th, so we don't know if that deal is going to happen now or then or whatever. He's saying there is a TikTok deal. There's been many things that the president has said that has not come to fruition. That doesn't mean that that's not a political statement. I'm just saying when you're investing in stocks, you have to make sure you make the right plays and don't go all in based on something, I would say, that the president says right now, especially if it's regarding deals or tariffs or anything like that. I mean, look, the markets, I mean, this is not my president because we're in the United States, but I'm a man of the markets. So this is my president. I mean, the Nasdaq is at all-time highs. The S&P 500 is at all-time highs. Yesterday we had the IWM, of course, and who wasn't saying the IWM was going to go up in the last 6 months, right? I mean, we knew this was the rate cut happening. So there goes IWM. I mean, it's not like, again, you're just right now back to all-time highs again on the Russell 2000. And this is a small cap index, right? So there we go, right? Like another huge move all the way to the upside. And we all knew this whole year was supposed to be rate cuts. But there it goes, a monster move on this index, 170 all the way up to 244 again. So there it goes, man, up another 2.5% for the IWM, outpacing the Nasdaq today, outpacing the S&P 500. I'm going to assume, and I haven't looked today, I'm going to assume gold is down slightly today because of the Nasdaq pressures. And yeah, it's down 0.5%, so at least we got that one right. That's going to feel a little bit of pressure. I think if the market keeps on going higher as far as the stock market, gold probably pulls back a little bit. So I'm only long right into here, and it's a very, very small part. I never, ever owned gold my whole life, and obviously wish I did, as it is now outperforming the S&P 500 over the last 25 years. But there it goes, 260 up to 335. I feel like that's a good move for GLD, and maybe we will start to piece some out. But I'm pretty comfortable holding a little bit against something. The big thing that I haven't talked about in forever is oil and energy. I'm not sure what to do here. It's very, very choppy. You're not really near highs yet for the XLE, and I used to be a big proponent of this, but I don't know anymore. It does pay a 3% dividend or so, so there's
those names still have a good dividend. I still have Chevron, but
it's very, very choppy.
Chevron,
I like Chevron too. I think you got to wait for the dramatic moves, right?
Well, that's sort of the thing. Like this, it's a stock that you can buy on dips, you collect the dividend, and anything. I did this with Oxy for a while, but I think Chevron is just better because of the dividend, where like you buy support, you trim when it gives you like the 10 to 15, maybe sometimes you get lucky with 20%, whatever you bought, and then you hold like a core position in it because it's just not doing anything. And for the last couple of years, it just really hasn't done anything. So there's nothing else you can do with it. Or you can just not own it would be the other play. I remember all of last year being like, okay, we want to build a position in XLE. I want to build a position in XLE, and then just never liked it at any point to get into it. That's the other thing. Allow things to give you a reason to get in. Oh, there is something that happened today. You mentioned this one. I don't remember if we ever found the story on UNH or what was going on with UNH. Right? You said,
no, we did not.
Somebody brought it up.
Yeah. Yeah, was it right when we started?
Yeah, like right when we started, like UNH just started. I mean, it was already going down, but it accelerated to the downside, down 1.5%. And I will point out, look where it turned. It turned off that 360 level. Everyone do you, but when they talk about gaps filling and that kind of stuff, to me, the 300 said there and then 420. But at the time I said 420 was the second target, it was a 200 period moving average. Now the 200 period moving average is down at 410. Like my second target on the swing is the 200 period moving average. And if that keeps sliding down, then my target keeps sliding down with it, period, because that's what I'm working off of. So yeah, UNH, kind of a rough relative day for it, down 1.5% isn't, I guess, that bad, but let's go to Adara.
Market, another update in the Fed's Cook saga. So in case you guys missed it this morning, the Trump administration did basically ask the Supreme Court to look at Lisa Cook's filing. In case you missed it, a judge ruled that Lisa Cook could not be removed from the Fed until, I guess there's a conclusion here to the court case or that investigation. We, of course, did have the Trump administration, as of this morning, again, trying to appeal that ruling with the Supreme Court, asking them to look into it. Now, Fed's Cook is apparently, via a filing, urging the Supreme Court to reject the Trump administration's request to allow for her immediate removal. So they're trying to allow for that immediate removal, again, through a higher level of appeals at the Supreme Court. Fed's Cook is trying to axe that via a filing. Back to you.
Fed's Cook, huh?
This is going to be the easiest answer to a question I've ever given.
All right.
Gary F., what do you think about BlackBerry long term? It's having a great week. I don't think anything of BlackBerry long term. So anytime you've heard, and it's 100% true that I absolutely love the phone, and I held on to it as long as humanly possible when they outsourced it to another company, and they actually had a really good Android phone for a bit, and then when that went away, then I had to make the move, and now I'm kind of a Pixel guy. So I don't really think anything of the company, but I will agree with you in that it's been having a pretty good run and what seems like accumulation. So I don't think the accumulation that happened in Palantir, I think was more telling because Palantir is a growth stock that's hype and everyone loves it. So but accumulation is accumulation. That's the best way to think about it. So for whatever reason, it stopped going down, it accumulated. If for some reason I actually like the fundamentals here and I was looking to buy, then would I be buying this kind of move? Yeah. If a stock that I like is doing this move, consolidating, and then breaks away from the 200 period like this, then this day is a buy for me, and then my out's under the 50 period. And then I'm looking for something in the $5 range. But I don't like BlackBerry, so I'm not doing it because I'm not interested in the stock. But yeah, I will agree with you that it's doing something here today. They still got a decent security business there. And they have some products. They probably still have some patents that they haven't sold off as well, which might still be generating some revenue for them. I don't know. It's just not a stock. Sometimes on meme crazes, it'll get going every now and then. But yeah, obviously its best days are behind it. Nowadays, if you want the best Canadian tech company, most people will tell you they're into other things. Bit of a kiss. It's like the kiss of death, though, to be the best tech company in Canada. Usually it hasn't ended well in the last couple of decades. I'm looking at you, Nortel. Nortel, BlackBerry. I would make the argument that at least BlackBerry, most of it was self-inflicted.
All right, here we go. Open image. If you're going to look here, this is the Dow Jones, right? So this is as of yesterday. I mean, it's as of the 16th, so 2 days ago right here. Not everything's rallying, man. 18 of the 30 Dow stocks are down over the last week. With 13 of them down 1+%. Now, that'll probably change a little bit today, but this is the Dow Jones right here. All these names are down, right? This is not 30 names as it stops, but there's all the red names here over the last 5 days. So we talked about Boeing. I mean, we always get questions like, is there anything to pick up, right? Remember the Dow price weighted. So you can see here oversold, they think is Salesforce. This is from Bespoke, so I don't know what.
I feel like Salesforce has probably been oversold for a while.
Yeah, exactly. Like, some stocks that go down continue to go down. Right?
Coke being extreme oversold, kind of interesting.
Where is Coke?
Like seventh, maybe? Somewhere there?
Yeah.
Oh,
so, yeah, extremely oversold as well. And overbought, we've got UNH. I think we agree with that. If we look at that, Amazon, quite a run. So I just wonder, like, everyone's going to think about these names and, look to say, is there a name here that maybe has been overdone one way or the other? We can, Disney has news. I think this is just the Dow Jones. So there's Amazon there as well. And then Neil talked about some of the communication companies there. So, yeah, I don't know. I like Boeing, but the problem is we always compare everything to the Nasdaq, and the Nasdaq, some of these names are just so hot fire. All right, so here's the diamond. So this is the Dow Jones 30. So you're going to see that as well. What's up, Canada? New all-time highs. And it's so loud. New all-time highs for the Dow Jones 30. So there it goes, man. I mean, we picked this one up. We've been buying this for a while. When Brendan and I were doing the podcast a long-ass time ago, I think it was probably 2022 or 2023. I'm not sure. I'll have to go look at that, when that podcast was exactly, but we were talking about buying the diamonds down into here because it was underperforming, and now boom, to the upside, get going right there. Recent addition, NVDA, right? So you have to wait to see where that goes from here, but boom, goes the dynamite there. Great exchange, great ETF there, the Dow 30. But again, you have UNH in there, so I think it could even go higher if UNH can figure itself out. look, if OpenAI is going to at one point IPO, which I'm pretty sure it will, especially once they get all that talk done, not for profit, blah blah blah. Microsoft does have a little bit of a stake there. It's not going to be enough to move the needle, I don't think, but Microsoft. We talked about a little bit of IPO action here. This is a name that, again, with Azure, the cloud has been super hot. We already know about that. And right into here, you're now below the 50-period moving average. So 500, 490, something like that around here for SOFI probably plays. So I was going to say this could be something where I drip a little bit of cash into even now, just to add to the portfolio, because we like Microsoft, and I think it has one way up. So before I say that, though, let me just quickly double check what its PE is. It's so hilarious. My 13-year-old birthday card he gave to me said, "I hope at work you can find some stocks with good PEs." And so just at least he's listening when I talk to him, which is good. That doesn't happen often. 33 to 37, so still more aggressive right now than Meta, more than Google as well on the PE. Google's PE is still a buy at 23. Andre, go to my screen. Don't even worry about me right now. Here's where we're looking right here as we go over some stocks. That's 23 for... Oh, you're having issues with my screen? Okay, good. There's Marvell as well, PE of 25. So you guys know we definitely are liking that as well. So, all right, we'll zoom off. We are having some issues, I guess.
What's wrong?
I don't know. Andre just said there were some issues with my screen, so I don't know what's going on. But that's what it is. I haven't seen a good PE in 20 years. Yeah, I mean... We're pounding the table on Meta was at $100. Like that's a big part.
Google just did it.
My portfolio. Yeah,
Google had a good PE, and then it went on a trail when it was undervalued, and everyone was worried about the advertising. So, but here's the, you don't always want a good PE. Like sometimes a really cheap PE means there's something. It's dead. Look, Ford's PE is what's wrong with Ford's super low. That hasn't meant anything for us. Just sometimes it ends up being a bit of a value trap. Like you want a good PE for that company, not necessarily just a cheap one. And I think the best example, like Google, Alphabet was an example for this. Here's a question for you. There's like one or two decent sites for like historical PE. I know there's one that I'll go to, but it's like unreliable. I think those can be good charts when you look at it. The historical price to earnings for the individual name that's what you want to look at, or at least compared to its peers. But like that, like those are the things matter. Like just the number itself, like just because you have a single-digit P doesn't mean you want to buy it. But if Google had a single-digit P, we'd be buying it in droves. But Alphabet in the teens, you're buying for sure. And Alphabet in the low 20s, I wouldn't want to buy it. And when it's in the 30s, maybe I wouldn't want to. Because at some point, you can see accumulation in lots of different ways. And when this one was the best relative PE in the Mag 7, what happened in Google? It just was program channel buying. And when it finally broke out the high, it went all crazy like here in Alphabet. So yeah, you'll see some good PEs out there. But it's relative to itself or relative to its peers is what you should care about for sure. Here's a good question. Ebb and flow portfolio. I like that one, ebb and flow. All portfolios are ebb and flow. When you're green on that day within the first hour, how much percentage of full size position do you drop down to for the rest of the day so you don't negatively impact your profits? I only change based on like the actual trade. Like an IPO, so if I take an IPO, and that's like my biggest trade, but IPOs are just different from every other style of trade. A breakout trade is going to have different risk parameters than, say, like a C or B plus dip buy trade. Like Open Door, to me, I just like the breakout more because I thought it had a lot of potential, so I put more into the breakout trade. I try to look at each trade individually, not like the time of day. Now, in a general sense, you'll hear me say this. In between like 11 o'clock and 2 o'clock, I don't like breakouts as much, and those are always sized down. But that has more to do with breakout trades in particular. Like mean reversion trades sometimes are the best during lunchtime, so I'll take it the same size as I would in the morning, because to me a mean reversion trade is a mean reversion trade. But a breakout trade I'm going to like more in the morning than lunch. So it depends on what style of trade you were doing. And I just saw, John, no, ETH is breaking down.
I mean, here's a question. You mentioned Open Door, because I did this with Google today. Open Door was your worst stock, and then you just traded it again. So did you go with the same shares or less because you're not getting a good read?
No, less. But less because I was trading the breakouts for more, but I always trade the breakout out the open for more. And at the open, not open door, the breakout in the open, I should say, during the open, because if you catch, and the way I look at it is this way, if you catch a first half an hour breakout trade that's really good, then you get to hold it pretty much for the whole day, and the potential is pretty big. So therefore, I'm going to like them a little bit better. Like, this is what happens when they work. So yeah, I'm gonna like it a little bit better than trying to catch a falling knife on open door. That said, it might try to go here. I mean, who knows? On open, there was something else before we got to that. Shoot, now I lost my train of thought. It was when we were talking about the PEs. I think it was actually Coke was looking. It was KO. KO was actually looking pretty interesting on that oversold chart. That said, I know there's that concern about GLPs, and also you have the fact that Warren Buffett was championing Coke for Berkshire Hathaway, so it's been fading because of that. But at some point, push comes to shove, and this might be a good sort of defensive place to still be in. What's crazy is it's underneath the 200-period moving average, so it's kind of in that range where I really don't like it. Like, I never like things that are breaking down under the 200-period moving average, but I would say if this gets into the low 60s, that would seem like a pretty good buy. That's asking a lot because the stock doesn't move that much. Moving 10% on this is a lot, but that's a nice, usual, safe place that you can buy support in. Is KO. Surprised to see it on that list, but then when you think about it, it kind of makes some sense.
All right, and just back to that PE talk. My largest position in my account, and my largest position ever, is Palantir, and I still own it, and its PE is like, I don't even know, 200 something, maybe
75.
300?
Forward PE or PE?
I don't know, whatever one you want. It's going to be
Go
huge.
forward.
Yeah, okay, forward, probably 90. Right into here, forward PE 196. So your guess of 75.
I thought 75.
Your guess is 75.
Not even close.
Mine of 90 is not even close.
Right.
So there you go. The best stock right now, Palantir, has a PE that you wouldn't even think of looking at, right? So sometimes you got to have that forward thought a little bit and trade what you think is a growth name that will continue. Palantir at one point today was up almost 6%. So just continues to climb higher there. And yeah, looking real good off that 50-period moving average. Okay, well, there we go. End of the trade there. Another profitable one there. So we'll just drop down some cash because there it goes, breaking lower again. So we get stopped out of that. Oh, and before these imbalances hit, we took another piece right there on NVIDIA. So a good level there on NVIDIA, up at 177. Neil talked about holding something all day. I'm your huckleberry right there. Every day we seem to have something like this. I was trying to go Google today on that breakout. So I'll have the number one P&L-wise, well, it doesn't matter. I always have that for loser and winners, but that's the biggest loser there today, and NVIDIA is the biggest winner. So they're both similar trades, but that's a breakout where I thought it could work, did not. Man, it went pretty low. Google went all the way to 250. So, oh man. All right, nothing's really moving around too much now. I want to check about Grab maybe, because Uber and Grab, we talked about Grab earlier. That was a name that was brought to our attention. Grab Holdings, the Uber of Asia, apparently that's still Uber chart. Let's go Grab. So this is what it was doing earlier. You must have grabbed some profit, hopefully, on that name. And now you can see what exactly it's doing right now, breaking down and trying to hold in and around this 625 area or so right now. Yo, what's up, Huckleberry? There he is. No, Kurt Hoffman. I mean, this is the thing. Always tag. I'm going to be as honest always with you guys. So, no. I don't know. Everyone's always asking me that, but no, I am not green on the day, like I said. So, no, I lost off Google there, and we made back about almost half, about a third. Well, I mean, this NVIDIA trade, we're almost out of it. So we'll make back about 35% or so of what we lost on Google there on NVIDIA. And then these were small plays. Like the TQs was good. We added to it, so we added back there. We added a little bit of PayPal earlier. I thought this was going to be a decent opportunity. See, this was not a breakout. This was a dip buy opportunity, which we nailed. We posted it up at 69 today. It just didn't fill for me. Didn't continue to go up. So that was a good trade there for sure. And then Amazon is a cup of coffee. We shorted there, made some money, shorted again, got stopped out there. So that's nothing. And then I just told you guys about NVIDIA, as there it goes, all the way to the upside. What's up, Maximus? There it is right there. Yeah, Scott R, always keeping it real, man. What's up, Maximus? He's red today. Okay, good job, Maximus, on realizing that. I mean, that's the number one thing that I think a lot of traders fail to do. It's like when they have a good day, it's like, man, I had a good day. And then sometimes they'll go in and lose like more tomorrow than you made today and vice versa. And then you got to look at it over, and this is why I say that it's not trading is not, I don't want anyone to take this as a full-time job. I think that would be a horrendous idea. But I think that if you're looking at it and you're saying, you know what, I'm trying to trade here and make $2,000 a month or something like that, and you have a goal and you can hit some of those goals, then that's where I think that once you do that, you can slow down, try not to give it all back, because this is a super, super hard game. 97% of the people that open up retail trading accounts lose their money.
I'll give one example without saying the name along those exact terms. We had a trader who was as a trainee, he was super quick to making profits. Like every single month, it seemed, and it's probably not almost every single month, it seemed like he would get out to a good start and he'd be close to graduation with halfway through the month. And every single time, that same trader would fail to graduate and most of the time turn red. And it was always the same nonsense. It was like when he lost, it was just eventually going to be too big. It's like, yeah, when he's on a good run, it's fine. But like the second he loses, it was going to be way bigger than his wins, and then it would start like a revenge trading thing. And the craziest thing about it is if he had that same mentality of, hey, you know what? Like just let's make it for side. Let's just try to be consistent. He would have been just perfectly fine as a trader, because his issue wasn't making money. He could make money. He just didn't know how to control his losses. He'd always just try to leverage more, and then he could not. The day that it was a loss, he would always lose the max. He would get himself shut. There was no such thing as a flat day for him. I'll tell you right now, traders need days that are close to flat. If you can have a red day where, yeah, maybe it started out terrible, you clawed a little bit back, you made a little bit back, but you didn't turn it into a disaster, that's a good thing. And some of those are some of your best days will be the day that you didn't have a good read and you went 1 for 5, but you didn't lose that much, or you went whatever. It doesn't really matter, but the specific. It's just a matter of having relatively small losses compared to your win to the best of your ability. Because I'll tell you flat out, like that guy had a ton of potential, because there was no questions asked. He could pick a winner. And to give him full credit for that, like he actually probably called. I remember he was at a training, which is always consistently calling winners. But when he was wrong, he was never wrong for a small amount, and he never seemed to have an out. And that was always the issue with him there. It's past 3:30. I want to tell you that Oracle imbalance is gone, the early look, but QBTS has popped up in its stead. 1.6 million shares to buy on QBTS, which would be pretty sizable. You've got a sell imbalance on CCL. And the XLF has a 1.1. It doesn't really, and the ETFs tend to not matter. It needs to be really big for an ETF, but for what it's worth, 1 million to buy on the XLF. Those are the 3 interesting ones. QBTS, remember, IonQ had news and Rigetti had news, and QBTS would be up on sympathy for those. QBTS up 7% today. They did not have any specific news, but do the quantum names need news to go? No, because they're speculative plays, and when one goes, they all go. This one has been on an absolute tear. You know at some point, like the pullback day is happening, that 3-day, 1, 2, gap up on the 3rd day, which lots of people talk about, that could be in play tomorrow for QBTS. Super strong day for the quantum names. All 3 of them. There's a 4th one I'm always forgetting, but all 3 of them, QBTS, Rigetti, and IonQ doing really well. What is the 4th one? It's like it's because the only reason I say 4 is because Martin Shkreli called out 4 of them specifically. He called out 4 quantum names, and I always forget what the 4th. Or something like that. It's QU something is the 4th one he called. QUTM, or is that the
UBT?
That's the one.
Meta right now dropping down into the 200 period moving average. So the whole market giving it up a little bit right here, and this is. We already dropped out of the TQ, so we're not there. But look at Meta right here on their Meta event yesterday, underperforming the market today. Just trying to look to see if there is going to be a profit spot here for Meta at some area. If you're short, I mean, just look to cover at 780 right there. We have FedEx earnings tonight, so we'll have to have a quick little look. UPS has been bleeding for a while. FedEx numbers, we're looking at an EPS of $3.65. You know, will that hit? I have no idea what numbers are going to put out, but if you're looking here at the daily, very, very choppy right into here right now. So not much going on there for FedEx right now. So the implied move on this is 8%. I'd say downside for FedEx. I mean, until we do get that China deal, until we get some more clarity on tariffs, I'm nervous to see where they guide. So I think FedEx downside there. UPS, as I said, UPS, you want to talk about a trap, a yield trap? This is a 7.8% dividend right now for UPS. So if you're chasing yield, go after this name, but look how bad, look, earnings, like this is earnings. Like these are all earnings. Not all of them, but whoop, whoop.
Oh my God, that's nasty.
There goes United Parcel Service, downside action there.
You know some firm is short the crap out of that.
Traders, yeah, so watch out because that's not what FDX looks like, you know, so FDX may be going the way of UPS, although they have different opportunities, right? FedEx Ground, FedEx Freight.
They're a little better.
Things like that, but you know, boom, nice. I mean, at least these ones have some up candles, but FedEx still trending lower there, so that's coming tonight, as well as Lennar.
Amazon's picking up steam down.
Lennar's coming now. I mean, that's why we get out of the futures because it's going down. That's why we tapped out of NVIDIA, although NVIDIA's at day's high. It's only a $2.50 winner. But there's Lennar coming today. They're looking for $2.12. Their implied move is 6%. So we'll check out what Lennar's doing here after hours as well. So there's two big earnings plays, but we're pretty much through it. The only big one left would be Micron. That's coming there next week. Bouncing off of 168 right there, and VWAP is MU. So there goes the market, man. I mean, and this is why we talk about it. You know, have discipline to get out so that TQ still stays. Excuse me, still stays positive for the account today. One trade got out when it broke. We changed our opinion on where we wanted to get out of this one when it did happen. The only thing is, maybe we should have gone short. So. Yeah, AMD's short at AMD's at 158. What's up, Eduardo?
It got so close to green. It was like spitting distance, and it's like the market's turning. AMD would have gone green. If it wasn't for the market, AMD's going green. Just, there's no question about this one. But that's probably one of the better recoveries you'll see in a day. And it's very, very telling, too. And it seems like it was probably just a little bit of program trading. Sell this one and buy Intel on the news, and then vice versa for most of the day. What's really great about AMD, potentially, knock on a little bit of wood here, is you're running into what was a big resistance spot. Like the dip has happened, it dipped, and it held 150 clean. So there's your 150 hold. You come into the resistance. It's more 164 than it is the low 160s. But if this starts taking that back out, then maybe it's time for it to resume. A really, really good bottoming tail candle. Like this is sort of the thing. Like, well, you don't have to be a market tech. You don't need to be a market technician or anything to be able to see what that means when you have a candle on the daily like this. It's a complete rejection of that low and then buy strength. And the fact that it's going to close up near those highs, so it's pretty easy to see for a turn. What it needs to do is follow through. Like there hasn't really been any follow through. That's the other side of the coin. Carter, when did you first buy QBTS? I'll be very candid. It's a complete fluke that we own QBTS underneath $1.50. My wife was doing it was like a cybersecurity and data security course. And so she had an opportunity to speak with like a lot of people in the industry during that course. And we were talking about what the next big thing is. Like, man, quantum seems really cool, but the only thing I know about quantum is Alphabet, or how much money the big cap tech names, or maybe like IBM is putting into it. And she's like, oh, because people were talking about this company. And I'm not going to say what they said about, they were talking about this company. It's like, it was a penny stock at the time, only like $1 something. I'm like, okay, why not put something into the TFSA? That being said, profits were taken way too, like still in it, but profits were taken on the way up. I remember at like $6, and then once at like $9, and probably once again in the teens. So, still have some for the dream, but I'm not going to sit here. I'm not even pretending that I believed in it for this. No, it was just a bit of a we liked, my wife and I wanted to be in something for quantum, and it's like, I didn't know anything. She mentioned that name, and it was a penny stock. It's like, okay, let's risk 50% on this and see what happens. And wish I'd realized this was going to happen on QBTS. And the other one was QUBT, quantum computing, which oddly enough isn't really doing much today. So this stock, out of that 4 that we're just talking about for quantum names, this one is actually bucking the trend. Rigetti up, IonQ up, D-Wave up, QUBT up 3%, but not very strong at all.
I should have shorted the market. Yeah, I love those quantum plays there. I just got IBM and IBM and Google. All right, so Tesla's really starting to fall in here as well, breaking through 420 and starting to go lower. So here we go, man. Tesla downside for sure right now, and it looks like it's trying to extend through into that imbalance data, which is coming in 3.5 minutes. I just took some Advil, man. I got a huge headache. You'll probably see Obi here tomorrow.
Well, I was saying earlier, I'm like,
yeah. I just coming in because it's part of my DNA, man. Like I like my father never missed a day. Like this guy was up every single day. Came here obviously as an immigrant into Canada. Didn't know anything. Didn't even speak the language from Italy. And just worked his you-know-what off. He was going around delivering bread at 6 years old. And so anyways, I think that's part of it. And then I was working with him when I was like 6 or 7 years old, as he had a great business that he wound up developing on his own. So I want to just give a big shout out to my father.
I still think I played on one of I wish I had the jersey.
Yeah,
because he sponsored.
Did he sponsor one of the?
Well, I 100% either played for or against, and when I was in Tyke.
Okay, yeah.
So like Tyke is like 9 or 10 years old baseball, but and I didn't know Sean at the time. It was after when we met each other, and you had said that your dad's company had sponsored like some baseball. I was like, you know what?
I think one of his partners played.
I remember the team.
Can't remember his name now. Oh man, yeah, played in Brampton baseball.
Yeah, it was. Anyways, this is like years.
It's all good. And so we put that back now. Like now we're sponsoring my daughter's hockey team and all that kind of stuff. So it's like just give back as much as you possibly
pay it forward,
right? So yeah, pay it forward. I think that's important. I think that's an awesome thing to do, right? No matter what you're up to. All right, 347, 348 right now. All right, that's a breakdown. What about UNH? I mean, we looked at UNH here a little bit today, 335 and change. Okay. So good trade off the 50-period moving average. You know, everything's pointing down on United Health. But with only 12 minutes left and then 2 minutes until the imbalances, it's a little nuts to do anything right now. My scanners aren't really doing anything. Marvell at the highs of the day, up 5%. This is the hot list right now. We've got Intel. We've already got out of Intel as much as I want to. Let me just zoom this up there. I don't know what this is. RIT, that's probably nothing. BSMR, I don't know what that is. AMD, Tesla, NVIDIA, we're down to Intel now. Robinhood pulling back a little bit there. The SPY, wow, $600. Crazy.
That doesn't make any sense. BSMR can't be doing volume.
BSMR. I don't know, it's on here. I don't know. It's probably just a crazy one. Tesla, Open Door. There's Oklo. I mean, we've already sort of gone over that. There's IonQ as well there. Oklo, of course. Oklo. What is SMR doing today?
SMR went ham today, baby.
Yeah, good.
Oh, God, come on, SMR.
Come on, Neil. You didn't take any out of the
No, it did. Well, whatever. See, this is a problem. Like, we're not trading SMR. I've already sold some SMR.
Dolphins will beat the Bills. I mean,
who said that? Get out of here.
Guap. I mean,
Guap. What do you want to? What are we talking about?
No,
here?
we have 8 of our 12 survivor teams.
What do you think? I'll do. Pretty much, if the Dolphins beat the Bills, literally name the thing you want me to do on the show. As long as I get something on the other end that's reasonable, like I will go. Send me an apple fritter, and I'll do pretty much any humiliation you want. The Bills are going to destroy the Dolphins tonight. It's not going to be close. No. Josh Allen's not going to need to play the fourth quarter either. That's it. I'm actually concerned about that in fantasy because I got Allen in both my leagues, and I got Cook as well, and those guys could be out the game. And I'm starting Kincaid, too, in another one. So they might not even get a lot of run. They're going to beat him so bad. Waddle might not play tonight. Let's go to the imbalances because... Yeah, I'm just getting worked up for no reason because you were probably just trolling me anyway. You weren't serious about that happening. Wow, that was nothing. TLT for $2 million. That's about it. Plug, 1.2 million. Plug's a $2 stock. That doesn't really matter. Intel, 900,000 to buy. That's pretty small. Walmart, Apple's a sell of 750. That's pretty much nothing. So nothing burgers across the board on the imbalances. Moderna has a 700,000 imbalance there. And then QBTS came out. It was supposed to be 1.8, but obviously it came out as nothing. I like to keep that up, so I have an idea of what it was trending going into the imbalances. But kind of a nothing burger here. Tomorrow, do not expect that. Tomorrow is.
I am cheering for the Dolphins not to win, but to at least.
Oh, make it a game?
No. I don't even want to make it a game. I want to be able to like.
You're trying to survive here, man.
Oh no. I don't have any. I think. Like, let's just think it's 21-0 by the first quarter. It's just like.
Yeah, I can go to sleep.
Yeah. No,
I'm down with that.
I don't know. I like to see good football, but I don't know if we will tonight.
We're not seeing
the Miami
good football
Dolphins are a disaster. That coach of theirs is not him. So.
He was the all
I don't know
credit
how
would
great
do.
he was. I don't.
No, his first year he created what was a really cool offense that forced the league to it. Like this whole like cover two, like too high safety. It's all because of what they did first. And the league, everyone in the league does this now to stop these deep balls and to stop quarterbacks like Mahomes, and all because of McDaniel. The difference is he has not adjusted whatsoever.
I don't think he's the brightest.
And it was the same thing with Chip Kelly. Like Chip Kelly was super innovative in the run game, and then all of a sudden the league adjusted and he couldn't adjust, and now no one talks about Chip Kelly anymore. But he was good for it.
Chip Kelly's in Oakland.
And what's going on there?
Are they 1-1 or I don't know what they?
Yeah, well, the problem is Oakland's got Geno Smith at quarterback, so it's.
I mean, last year they had some next guy too. That red.
But they weren't any good either.
Not Dalton. They had somebody else.
Look, I'll tell you this right now. That team gets a quarterback with Gene and Bowers. It's going to be real. It's just they need a real quarterback. That's all.
Yeah, Genty. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully
he's good, man. Everyone's writing him off. I would buy that guy in the Dynasty League for sure. Yeah. Just because he had a couple. You have a couple bad games as a rookie. Yeah. That's a good buying opportunity.
Not even a bad games, right? I mean, you got to get the ball. Like these guys are going to have to work their way into the offense.
Score.
It's the Vegas Raiders, not the Oakland Raiders.
Oh yeah, Vegas, obviously. You can tell how old we are.
I stay hydrated over here, boys and girls. Pete Carroll, my bad, not Chip Kelly.
Chip Kelly's the offensive coordinator.
Right. Yeah. I knew Pete Carroll was the coach. So stupid of me. Let's just have a quick look. All right, so we fall down into 101. That was initially going to be our support zone, so no surprise there that it, no surprise that it held, but we'll wait to see if it does break down even more. I think tomorrow's trade today, I think we're going to be looking tomorrow at Intel. I think that's pretty much a for sure thing here. We'll look at that tomorrow for Intel. I got out today. I told you I got out for a quarter, and it was right at the beginning of the show, so we did probably a little bit. I mean, if we did anything better, I went up a couple pennies, so I think I got out. I'll have to double check, but I was going to say it was probably around 30-60s, something like that. I mean, I got out live on the show, so I think worst case scenario, it was right when this show came on, so we were doing Intel, so it would have been probably around here, 30, something like that. So we just got out for flat, just basically where it is right now. So let's wait to see what winds up happening tomorrow. I got out of 20% of that position because so many times we're sitting here saying Intel, and there it goes, right? So nice move up there for Intel today. Would have loved to got out earlier, and I didn't push that button. So right now there's a lot of consolidation here. I think if you're going to put a stop order on Intel, right here is tomorrow's trade today, like I was trying to tell you guys, 29.80 short. So if I'm not here tomorrow, that's a trade right there that would be on the sticky note tomorrow. This break short, and I don't know where Intel's going to go overnight. You could get, maybe AMD wants to invest $5 billion in them. I have no idea.
Who?
But AMD, who knows? But if that breaks there, that's a big short for me, for sure. Covering it maybe 26.50-ish, something like that. But again, I sold some today, so I'm obviously biased a little bit to that position, but yeah, all right, let's go. You got to handle some business.
Let's talk a little trade the pool, because instead of risking your own money, you can trade with someone else's capital. No more fear of losing, no more moving your stop loss too soon. And you can actually get enough capital to make it worth your time. So you can aim for bigger profits, not just a couple hundred a month. This is a revolution called limited risk trading, and it's powered by Trade the Pool. This is how it works. Join Trade the Pool, hit the profit goal, and keep 70% of those profits. Visit tradethepool.com or scan the QR code now for 10% off. I want to thank them, and they'll be coming through for us.
Oh, yeah, sure.
In less than 1 month, we are going to see, I know we're seeing Mitch.
We are seeing Mitch.
Yeah, we're seeing Mitch. I don't know who else is coming through. I've heard
whoever the owner is.
The owner's going to be coming through as well, who we have not met.
He wants to make me an offer I can't refuse, he told me.
We'll see.
I'm going to refuse it. You watch. All right, but anyways, yeah.
And by the way, I'm just saying, someone said wear a Tua jersey if they win. I don't own a Tua jersey, and I'm not buying a Tua jersey. But Mr. Westermeyer,
they're not winning.
Apple fritter or hot chip. Okay, I have to correct myself. I said I'd do just about any humiliation. I'm not doing the hot chip thing again. I'm just not doing it. It was entirely unnecessary. So yeah, I mean, I would eat a crazy hot wing, but that Packy chip was ridiculous, and there's no need for anybody to do that a second time in their life, as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, no, not that. Pretty much, I don't mind. Like, I'll paint my face in the opposing.
Well, we got the $200. We got the
yeah, but I'm not.
No. What I'm saying is, we could just order if they lose tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be here, but if
I'll eat some crazy hot wing on.
That's what I mean. We can just.
But I'm not doing the package.
Here we go. Here's Spark Shop right here.
What's he saying?
You're like the good angel on my shoulder when the devil is the other one telling me to double down and chase my losses. I had 6 Synopsys contracts that went $50 into the money today. Donated a big chunk to my kids' school. There we go. That's exactly what we're talking about.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right there. I wanted to cut the TTV team in on a slice too. Thanks for all. So thank you so much, Spark Shop, for all of that, man. And I'd be happy if you want me to be the devil on your shoulder. I can do that, man. I'll do that for you as well. So shout out to Spark Shop there. Thanks, Neil, for the advice. I don't know whatever it was.
I love this. Donate a big chunk to your kid's school and want to cut. That's fantastic. Like Pay it forward, man. That's the best thing you can do. I'll tell you right now, giving, you'll feel so good about giving. If you don't, it's just, there's nothing better than making somebody else's day and just doing it because it's a good thing to do. So shout out to you, Spark Shop, for sure. But I like that. I like this idea. I mean, look, none of this matters because the Dolphins aren't going to win. So I don't even know why we're spending so much time talking about it. But I'll do something silly for sure. But it's not. It's just not going to happen. Yeah, just being real. Tua.
Tua will be fine. I just hope he doesn't have a concussion. I mean, that's all.
In all seriousness,
yes.
I have a couple of Dolphins on my fantasy team, so I'll watch, like I have Hill and Waddle. I will start Hill, but not necessarily Waddle. So I'll watch those games. I actually don't, every time he looks like he's going to get hit, I kind of cringe.
I know, I hate watching
I don't want it, like of all the people in the league, I don't want to see that guy get hit again.
No, I know.
Because the last one was, and it was against the Bills. That one
and I don't even know if he's wearing one of those
game.
Guardian caps. I don't even know if he is or not.
I've seen a couple of guys. If it's supposed to actually help, H-N's, a few guys that do. I mean, I've seen wear them.
Henry ran ramshot on the Buffalo Bills defense.
Why not wear that cap if it actually helps you?
Yeah,
I don't get it.
A couple Packers that wear it.
It just seems like it would be common sense to me. Like, what's the point of making all that money if you can't?
But the Packers are the youngest team, the smartest team, and the best team.
Well, we'll see in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I'm just glad that I hope you guys make it to the Super Bowl. You guys got to get through the Ravens. We just got to get through the Eagles.
I think you guys are going.
I hope so.
Because I think you have an easier path, relatively speaking.
Why? I mean, we have the hardest path because we have the best team in the NFL is the Eagles.
I don't think the Eagles are the best team in the NFL.
Who do you think is?
I think the league. I think we kind of figured them out a little bit. I think.
Who do you think is the best?
Look, I obviously say the Bills, but like the Bills.
No, but besides the Bills, because you said the path.
The Ravens.
You think the Ravens are better than the Eagles?
The Ravens are. I'm telling you, right. If the Ravens play the Eagles, I don't know if they actually meet up this year, but the Ravens are so legit.
The Ravens
I'll be the first
gave up 41 points.
We got a fluke TD
the Eagles
that helped win that game.
Right. Yeah, he's right.
We got a fluke TD that helped us win that game. There's no question about it. The team didn't quit, and it was an amazing game to watch. But the Ravens, in a lot of ways, were the better team. I can admit that. Even I'm Bill's homer, man, but.
Yep.
Damn, they were like when Derrick Henry and Lamar are going. Like, what are you supposed to do? Can't stop. It's hard to stop that ish. But it helps if you have Micah Parsons.
Bills don't have a good defense. That's the problem.
But
I mean, I think a lot.
Josh Allen keeps you in every game.
Exactly. Yeah, they have Josh Allen. So yeah, that
30 seconds to go
until the playoffs happen.
Thanks again.
All right, here we go. 30 seconds.
30
left.
seconds to go.
All right. So yeah, thank you everybody for joining again today. It's been a big day, obviously, in the market as the Nasdaq is going to go out up 1%. Yes. So that's huge. Bitcoin 17.5 right now. So here we go.
Brought to you by Beta Pro by Globex. The closing bell. Let's ring it in 3, 2, and 1, and
Jeez, that is loud.
It's like all of the animations are like 3 times as loud for us. I know you guys don't necessarily hear it that crazy, but for us, it is absolutely super loud. Look, fantastic. day as well, and I want to give a big thank you again.
Also on NVIDIA.
Like we appreciate the super chats for sure. Thank you, Spark Shop. We'll think of something. We got another one earlier, so we were already looking to make some, maybe grab some food or something for lunch tomorrow. Although I have a very good feeling about the lunch tomorrow. Call it a gut check. I think we're getting the best lunch this week, and I think it'll be sandwiches tomorrow. But that's just my guess. Maybe
because I might not be here. I'm going to check what lunch is tomorrow.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
I won't tell you.
I don't want to know.
I won't tell you.
Well, the crazy thing is you missed the Were you here for the tacos?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, the tacos. We did tacos last time. Tacos are delicious, but we've had tacos one or two times. They're pretty good, but they were way too small when they give us the tacos.
Yeah.
I don't want to know what it is, but shout out to everyone in the chat. I want to thank the entire team, not just who you see on camera, obviously. But I want to give a big shout out.
Yeah, look at that thing. That thing is on the screen right now.
We got to do that more often, by the way, Fabian.
Yo, what's up, Andre? See you later.
See you, Andre. There's Andre, everybody. That's Assassino, as Sharif calls him.
Sharif calls nobody by their name.
Why?
It kind of bugs me a little.
I always forget what the
right, see ya.
for. Have a good one, brother. Hey, rest up for. Rest up. Yeah. And obviously, the market recap's going to start in just a couple of minutes here, but we don't have 16 likes. It's not bad. I'm going to hit the refresh and see what it actually is, because I don't think that's the problem with YouTube. Is sometimes you actually have to refresh to see. 510, and I'm going to hit it right there. Only 500. I mean, Sean powered through the day, not feeling that well. The market powered through. Jerome kind of gave us what we wanted. There's that synopsis that did 13%. That was absolutely fantastic. But, everybody just hit that like, hit that subscribe. Make sure that you're contributing to the community by pay it forward. This show is free, so we can all learn, get better, hopefully make some more money as traders and investors, and learn something. And that's what we're all here for. And we grow the community, we get more knowledge in there. I can't tell you how many times I find traders in our community that help us as well. So FedEx is reporting as we speak. We're going to throw you to the desk. We've got Sean, we've got Adara. We have FedEx, which is actually going up. Let's go. FedEx up 5%. Let's get you to the desk. Sean and Adara, your market recap show starting now.
Show right now. We're live right here. So thank you. I'm here with Adara. How's your day going? I'm sure
my day is good. Lots of infographics, guys. Doing lots of work on Costco, as I was telling Sean off camera, because they report next week. So why not start
more famous infographics coming through?
Yeah, very much so. We might do a hot dog related infographic.
Ooh.
And in case you guys don't know why that is, you'll find out when you read the infographic, because it's really funny.
Yeah.
So let's talk here about FedEx earnings, Sean. Q1 adjusted earnings, $3.83. It's a hefty little beat compared to estimates of $3.62. Sales, $22.2 billion. Also a nice hefty little beat compared to estimates of $21.667 million. There was year-over-year growth here for this report. They also said they have completed completed 500 million share repurchases during the quarter, and they are on track to spin off their FedEx Freight by June 2026. So it does look like here that there was growth year over year. I'm looking compared to all these metrics that, as far as I can tell, good look there for FedEx. That's what we're trying to talk about here. Business optimization costs actually went down as well, which is always nice. So last year, 39 cents per share impact. This quarter, 22 cents per share impact. So less costs, better earnings, nothing bad as far as I can tell so far for FDX. How was your day, Sean, though? Because I got so excited about FedEx there.
Yeah, no, good. Everything was good. We wound up the day red. We talked about that on the show, but it was fine. No big damage done either way today. So it's too bad because we had that hot trade off the open with Google, and then it kind of fell back through. So, but FedEx still going now, still up 5%. The expected move was 7 or so %. So there goes FedEx. And we talked about it just sort of sitting here in and around a zone, but now starting to break out a little bit. GEVO, is that a name? I just hear that they just came up with a deal right here. So we're going to see if there's anything going on right now, back and forth here for GEVO right now. Let's see if there's any sort of tailwinds with UPS coming through. UPS, again, United Parcel Service going upside as well, joining that FedEx bump right there, up $1 on UPS. Adara has more on FedEx.
Yeah, they just, they're guiding fiscal 2026 diluted earnings per share of $14.20 to $16. Not seeing how that compares to estimates. They're also talking about this before the retirement of plans, accounting adjustment, so unclear how that's going to impact things either way. The stock only pushes higher. Kroger's board of directors declaring a quarterly dividend What else were we looking for here? We were looking for GEVO. What were you seeing on GEVO?
I just heard some sort of a story there, but it's not really.
Yeah, they executed a deal with BioEcro to accelerate their multi-year carbon credit offtake. Not sure how big that's going to be. Lennar, though, let's see what they're building towards. It's worth noting this is one of those ones where, according to any, all estimates I'm seeing, they're going to be reporting at 5:45 p.m. Unclear if that will be the case. We know yesterday we thought both Bullish and Cracker Barrel were going to be reporting late. Cracker Barrel actually came out almost right at 4:05, and then Bullish did not report until after 5.
Right.
So we really never know what's going to happen there. That's why I say that. Any other earnings I can let you guys know or look at for you guys. I expect FedEx will fall after hitting 240, says Steve M. I mean, it just cracked above 240, Steve, but we're struggling to stay above 240, so we're gonna have to wait and see what happens there. But either way, hopefully, if you are long this name, it did deliver you some profits, and congrats to you all there.
All right, so just real quick right here. FedEx Q1 adjusted EPS 382 beats 362. We have it on the board right here. Estimate sales 22.2 billion beat. So they're beating on the top and the bottom line. So let's just go back over here and figure that out. But that's what FedEx is doing. You may be right now about that 240 area. I might bump it up a little bit to 245 there for FedEx. So if you do get that huge move higher, like I was saying, this could be the spot right here, right now, where you look to get out a little bit there on FDX. So try that if it does go back up to the upside. We are still waiting for Lennar, so when that comes through, then we'll have these earnings for you today as well. Okay, today's big story obviously comes with Intel, right? Intel today had that big $5 billion investment coming through with NVIDIA takes a stake over there. It was it's more like a medium rare stake, I think. Nice move to the upside there of $33. Then the fade happened almost immediately. They didn't even wait for the market to open here on Intel, right? As soon as the traders came in, that's 9 o'clock. Sell-off started happening. That's 33.50. We could not get above this area. I think Intel could be a long. We just got to get above this area right there. The area highs of today's deal for Intel. So right now, I said tomorrow's trade today, the breakdown of Intel right there. I think it breaks 30 in the blue ocean after hours. And then when you're going to look at this, more key levels to talk about here for Intel.
Another earnings name.
Yeah, exactly. There's another earnings play. Okay, we'll go over that in a second. 27.75. We also, we zoomed some more out on Intel right here. And it was this breaking area right there that I'm concerned with tomorrow. So I think 29.70 or so is a very key level for Intel. This goes all the way back to May. So if you're going to look for a trade on Intel, I think that's a good spot to look. That break zone right there for a short. I don't know if it's the right zone for buyers, but I like a dip buy opportunity, sell it into that, and then dip buy opportunity into 26 and change right there for Intel. So that's the story today on Intel as NVIDIA comes through with a big buy, a big stake in Intel today, and the move is downside. We were up over 30% at one point. Intel gave back a third of that play. So yeah, that's why I was a little bit upset there when we noticed that, but we got out of a quarter of our position as well at $30.70, which wasn't that bad. All right, what do you got for us now?
Yeah, with regards to Intel too, I want to say shout out to Brian Shannon with AVWAP because it was really respectful of the AVWAP from that event. At least for like the first hour or so. Eventually it gave it up, but shout out to Brian Shannon. I talk about AVWAP a lot, but that's because it works. Let's talk about Scholastic though. SCHL, this is a smaller cap play. I don't know if you guys remember the brief period when this was a meme stock, when it was like a penny stock. If you go back to last year, what a world. So Scholastic, earnings missed though here. $2.52 loss per share versus estimates of a $2.44 loss. Again, a miss. Sales, $225.6 million below estimates of $238.905 million. Guys, let me know in the chat if you ever did a Scholastic book fair. I did. Shout out to Scholastic. Let's talk here about
They don't
Scholastic.
do them anymore.
Really?
They do not. I don't remember the last time.
I loved reading through those and being like, I want this one, this one,
I know.
this one. Oh
You used to bring home that little pamphlet. Yeah, so I shouldn't say they don't do it anymore. I haven't seen it in a couple of years because I remember my kids literally came home and circled like everything.
Oh my God, same. My parents would be like, cut this down.
Yeah, and I was just like, what does that even mean right now? You're circling them all. But I think libraries and all that are even a thing. I don't want to say a thing in the past because every time I happen to go in with my kid, they're not that busy. public libraries.
There's other ways to find things now.
Yeah,
right, guys? Check out the stock ticker. We love your engagement with the chat.
Oh, wow.
Give us those tickers. Please use real tickers. Please and thank you. Because we like that. We like tickers over here.
If it wasn't a real ticker, it wouldn't show up, right? I don't think because there would be no
you see
symbol.
them floating down the screen, though, because some people will put OB because it's like 3 letters, right?
Yes,
or
yes.
Neil, because you can only do 3 or 4 letters. You and I could technically be tickers as well because Google is 5 letters, but alas, I don't know if that thing.
There's a lot of 5 tickers, actually.
Which is fair. How is FedEx doing, says the Deepster. Let's get that for you guys.
Yeah, let's go have a look.
FDX, I know you're talking about 245, Sean. Right now it's back at 2. I mean, yeah, that 240 really seems to have been a bit of an issue here. We're all the way back at 238. It's weird that this is not really showing, like, I'm using a Benzinga chart. It's not really showing me the memory. I know at one point we were at 242. Right now it looks like we never even got above 240, which I know, in fact, we did. 5 minute, yeah, so if you look at the 5 minute here, as you guys can see, topping tail, pushing a little bit into that 242. Couldn't get to 242. Let's see if we hold like this 237. This is a bit more of a pretty expensive ticker. So you guys know what that means. This is something that I like to trade on earnings. So
yeah,
FedEx.
we're in a major survival pool that is a Wall Street pool. There's like 4,000 or 5,000 people in it. So hopefully we could do that right now. We also did have, I want to do something right here. It's not a huge earnings day. I want to do like a hot or not situation right now.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple tickers and then we'll do that. We'll figure it out, okay?
That's cool.
I'm going to think, if you come over to my screen right now, I think Meta right now. So Meta, off of course, we had some good news yesterday with their Meta glasses there. And I know that you and Sharif and Joe do some stuff like this on the midday. But is Meta hot or not right now, Adara? Because today we actually fell down. We were less than the market. It did not compete with the market today. It looked like it was heading to a downside. And we're near the lows. You think Meta's hot or not?
I actually think it's hot, and I'll tell you why. So if you go to my screen here, look at the 30-minute chart on META. So 722, this was clear resistance going back to late July. Now it's become some clear support. Did my mic die? No, my mic's good. Okay, so support resistance here at that 720 level. Now I also remember Meta at 710 had like this weird relationship. We're way past the 710 hurdle, so I'm not worried about that for Meta right now. Now, the only other hurdle I could maybe see, other than 800, which, as I said, these spready tickers can be really, really weird with $100 levels. Other than that, we had this double top around that 795, which we made back in August of this year, so about a month ago. But I think the double top, obviously, that can be a bearish pattern, but if we get above it, then I think it becomes a really nice bull signal. So with that in mind, with the support holding at 722, I actually think this is hot. I don't know if I spoke too much on that. I don't know how the hot or not is supposed to go, but that's my take on Meta and why I think it's hot.
Adair's supposed to go however we want it to go.
I like that.
You do not have to worry about it.
Okay, then I'll give you a ticker. I'll give you a ticker, Sean.
Not yet.
Oh.
Okay, so you, in a second, I just wanted to say I do agree with you because I think it's important that they have those 3 SKUs. They had like the $799 Ray-Ban display glasses, the $500 Oakley Meta Vanguard glasses, and the Ray-Ban Gen 2 at $379. So I am also going to say that Meta is pretty hot right up into here. Okay, I have some more tickers, but what do you want to ask me?
Well, okay, so I'm curious. I was looking at Netflix today. Netflix is a kind of an interesting technical level. Do you think Netflix is hot or not?
Look at that. Look at that by Fabian over there. All right, so here's Netflix right here. So Netflix, yeah, good little look today as Netflix continues to move to the downside here, right? So there goes Netflix, very aggressive, could not find a bid all day. And right now it looks like it wants to break the 50-period moving average. So when you're seeing the Nasdaq at all-time highs, when you're seeing Dow Jones at all-time highs, you're seeing IWM breaking out now as well. Netflix going the other way. Plus the problem here is I actually think that what happened yesterday with Jimmy Kimmel and Disney and some of these media plays, I am worried about too much undue influence. For me, Netflix is not right now. I think there's opportunities to buy Netflix. I just think right now we're in a not level for Netflix. And honestly, on the chart, you're trying to break below the 50-period moving average. Let me get this back above 1263 and she'll turn hot again right there, Netflix tomorrow. 1263 breakout. That's my play on that one. You think Netflix is hot or not?
I think it's not for the same reason. Like I was really looking for a breakout today of that 1232 level. We were kind of like, trying to push into it, and then it just couldn't do it. As I mentioned in the chat, I actually had a nice little short on this, but then I got stopped out and I didn't have enough risk to get back in, so I was like, darn it, and then it drops another $20. So yeah, I think for me, like Netflix, the biggest levels that I have on this thing that we're kind of near, 1225, 1224, and then the other one is like 1162. So and those are really specific, but those are going to be my levels for Netflix. Obviously, right now we're in between them, but because we're below the 1224, I think we're at least a short until we see what happens at 1162. There was a super chat from Spark Shop.
Oh.
Neil, you're like the good angel.
Oh, yeah, we had that earlier.
Did we read that one?
No, keep going.
You're like the good angel on my shoulder and the devil's on the other, telling me to double down and chase my losses. Oh, yeah, this is the SNPS one. So thank you again to Spark Shop for the $200 super chat. And hopefully you are sparking up some profits always.
Shout out. Let's feel here. We already had that from Spark Shop right there. Yes. Mike Peter Ryder's here. I want to say, are you guys liking this sort of impromptu hot or not right now? So let us know if you like that. What's up to Darth Trader here? Mike Peter Ryder. Thomas is here as well. What's up, Thomas? Cassie Agents here. Mike Peter Ryder, Darth Trader. Everybody's in the building. So thank you so much for everybody for continuously joining us every single day. Jado, Dinkelberg, Bora, Kevin Gonzalez as well. So I hope you're liking this segment because I got another one for you, Adara.
Ooh.
I think today's movement on Tesla is something to talk about.
Let's talk about
you know, breaking down below that 420 level, and again, looking like this. I don't want to make every hot or not like, okay, the stock is down, so therefore it's a not. But for me on Tesla, I'm going to say not again on this one. Down 2.5%, breaking lower, had a huge move. I think some sort of air can sort of come out of this. I don't want to call it a bubble or anything like that. It's more like a balloon just sort of slowly inflating. I don't think it's going to pop anytime soon, but I think some air comes out of this name and we do float a little bit. That was a big technical break there, Adara, at 370. Yeah. Today we get the news of that door redesign, US probe into safety. I'm not really feeling that. Plus without any China deal right now, I'm a little worried about Tesla. So for me right now, Tesla is a not, but it's kind of like, it kind of could turn hot.
Yeah,
you know, like it might, it might need a little bit of work on that. But for me right now, Tesla into tomorrow is a not.
So into tomorrow, I agree that it's a not. Going forward, like you, I actually think it could become hot. But going into tomorrow, I think it's a not. Why? Because we have this gap up, and can we sustain it? That would be a no. Monday, we had a massive gap up. Could we sustain it? Once again, that would be a no. 410 to me has been like a huge level. It's not even just to me, I think it's just on the chart of resistance and support. Yesterday, I remember we kind of break into 410 right at the open. We false break it, get to a low of like 409.50, and then what? I don't know, 410.
Right.
It's above 410. So with that in mind, I think like 410 is still going to be a huge level. I think if it can stay above 410, then it's a hot tomorrow. I suspect it probably can't, in which case it would be a not. However, today, I think one of the secret stories with Tesla that clearly did not help the stock was Elon Musk was all on X telling everybody to vote at the shareholder meeting. Okay. This will be apparently the biggest shareholder meeting for Tesla, and it'll also impact the world. And I'm not joking, this is what Elon said. I'm slightly paraphrasing, but he did say that it could impact the world. And so he said, make sure you vote. If you have any issues with voting, let us know. We want to help you vote. Okay. That's, again, his shareholder package. But I wonder if it's actually going to be something beyond that, because I know as much as Elon's a lot of things.
I mean, he's trying to change the way that we do business. And the way
agree, and I don't think he's like I know he's a lot of things. I don't think he's out and out self-centered in the way where he'd be like, my $1 trillion pay package will change the world. I don't really get that vibe from him, to be quite honest. So I always say that to mean what is going to happen at this meeting that this man is like, this could change the world. And then we know yesterday, too, we had that letter from Chairperson Robin Denham, and she was like, hey, guys, please, like, make sure you get these votes in. We really want you to vote for this package. November 6th, this could be a really big make or break day for Tesla. And the funny thing is it would be almost the 1 year anniversary of the election of Donald Trump, which happened on November 5th. So it'd be like 366 days since that election. We know that election was hugely monumental for Elon Musk as a person and Tesla as a company. So yeah, it'd be pretty interesting and consequential that that's going to be about a year after.
Okay, so a couple of stocks there on hot or not. What's the number one stock there? We have Open Door maybe. We could talk about a little bit right now. Yeah, we can go over the infographic that you made real quick. Let's just check back in on FedEx real quick. I mean, I'm not sure who that was in the chat, but you sort of pinged that 240 level. I heard Adara mention it. And yeah, it is holding right now on FedEx here, earnings today. This is what FedEx came out with. I'm not sure if you saw a guide or not on FedEx, but
I did not really.
Okay, so there's the EPS right now, 383 beating 362. So EPS and top side and bottom right there with the sales on the bottom line, EPS bottom line, top line sales there, 22.2 billion, beating that, like, amazing for a quarter, $22 billion. Give me a break, but nice move there for FedEx. And I think that this could turn hot right now real quick because you're going to take out that 200 period moving average. Now, tomorrow's going to be important for FedEx as it's going to have to hold that level. If it does do that, watch out for 245, break long, hot name here, FedEx. If it can get above this 245, let's see tomorrow. If you guys are options players, I think you can try to get something 260, 270 up here, maybe for December expiry, something like that. Because if you break and we get a China deal and the market continues to go upside right there, I think FedEx continues to work. It's been beat up all year. I like FedEx here for that. So we'll wait. I don't know if Lennar came out yet.
No.
No, so not moving around yet either. We do have it in our ear if anything does start. There was JP Morgan just announced that they are having their investor day. JP Morgan announces investor day. That's a long time. February. My bad. February 23rd is JP Morgan's investor day. Okay. I was thinking it might have been earlier than that, and we could have maybe thought that this could have run up, but what a nice run up it's been for JP Morgan here. I think the bank continues to work on the short end of the curve here. We did get a reduction in the interest rate yesterday, down 1/4 point. We're expecting more moving forward, of course. And here is that Fed rate tool as well. So let's have a quick little look and see what we are expecting moving forward in the CME Fed rate tool. All right, so for October, well, I mean, this is where we are now, 4 to 425, the overnight lending rate. It's big move again, man. It looks like we are 92% chance that we do get that other 1/4 point cut. This is only a day after the rate cut cycle has started. So I think that bodes well. Again, if we're talking about tech, IWM, crypto going up on its first rate cut, we're going to get another one, and that comes on October the 29th. Not a spooky day, almost Halloween. I'm interested to see if you're going to dress up for Halloween, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I have. So I do have a couple. I don't know if we do.
You have some ideas already?
Yeah, I have
We should do a group costume.
We're going to do a group costume. We do a group costume. I'm not going to do that idea, but I'll probably like still go out for that anyway. It is actually like horror movie themed, but it can be. It's not like gory or anything, so that could be a thing. Anyways,
2 years ago or whatever, I was the Bitcoin guy. It might have even been was it last year?
No, it was not
I don't remember what I was last year.
You were Bitcoin guy last year with the hot dog the year before.
Maybe we'll be the hot dog again. But I remember Bitcoin was like at $50,000 or $60,000, and I was acting a fool, telling everybody to buy it. All right, and then what about December right here? So it looks like we are going to get, again, there's that other 50 basis points. So 25, 25, 25 gives us 0.75%. And then, I mean, we can go, I don't know if there's any point to go out to next December because
you were on the CME Fed Watch too.
Yeah. There it is right here. See
no, you were like your face was on.
My face was on there. Yeah, it's scary for everybody. Hey, everybody, what's going on? But yeah, it looks like we still do have some targeted rates there. About 1/4, 25% chance, 25% chance that we're down to 275. That was the lowest look that we saw on the dot plot. And I think that was Myron there. Is that his name? Myron yesterday? The guy
Myron.
Myron, sorry.
I've heard people pronounce it every way, but the most consistent way I've heard it pronounced is Myron. So I'm deciding that it's Myron until I hear otherwise.
So I know you did a lot of work on that open door graphic.
So much work, yeah.
So let's talk about it a little bit here today because Open Door did have a good day. At the end of it all, technically maybe not great, down 2.5%. But to me, the reason why I say it had a good day is because we held that $10 mark. Okay,
that's fair.
And I just think that that's going to be a pretty key level. I'd like it to see test 9 again and hold. And this is not like to say. I think even if you're a bull, I think in this, obviously you'd like it to rip to all high noon, right? But at the end of the day, you want to make sure that support is valid. So last time it came down to 9, it wicked to 850 and then ripped back up to 11 again. So let's wait to see if we can get one more test there at 9. But I think Open Door can hold out, only down now 2.5%. So I still like the stock. We have a 25% short float for Open Door. You think that's hot or not right now?
I think it really depends on the minute.
It's like a 5 out of 10 maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I really think it depends on the minute. I'm never sure if the door is open or closed.
Right.
But I mean, to talk about this a bit, it's quite easier if you guys just go on X at TTV Research. I do have it there. It's like multiple pages, but basically what I wanted to do, this is the cover page, is look through the social media posts of all the people involved and then kind of track how all the sentiments change, track all of the major announcements, the major movements, when Eric Jackson started standing outside Drake's house.
Yeah.
And then we got this very long chronicle of kind of the journey of Open Door, which is, it was really fun to make. This is the most recent, this was the last part of this, I guess, when Martin Shkreli announced a short. And it's funny, Sean, before he announced a short position, he literally said on a couple hours before on X, I'll pay $500 an hour for anyone who's an expert in open who wants to tell me about the company. Then the CEO at 1:03 p.m. is like, I'll talk to you. Let's make a time.
Right.
And then half an hour later, Martin's like, yeah, no, I shorted Open Door.
Oh, wow.
He is still
That's
actually
awesome.
calling. He's doing due diligence calls still.
Good.
With people from the company. So I will give him credit where credit is due on that. But then also, this is like the last kind of page here of the infographic. What I did was I went through the chart, and there's little legends, as you can see here. There's little letters attached to each item, so you can kind of see when each
It's a
item happened
seven-parter?
on the chart. Oh, it's like 8 or 9 parts.
Oh, 8 or 9
many parts, but this is the final part of like the actual fact. Like, you know, this is what happened here. This is the post. So you can go and exit GTV Research for a whole thing. There's also like a whole bunch of people's faces explaining their role in the company. I even have a section for the short sellers like Martin Shkreli, and then Citron Research with their short report. So if you enjoy way too detailed dives and spending way too much time on X going through tweets, this is the account for you. Exit GTV Research.
Good, we like that. All right, we're doing something here that, you know, when it's our show, we do whatever we want. This is something called Stock Blitz.
Let's do it. Let's blitz them. Let's talk.
It's just like, you know, when you're playing football and you're blitzing that quarterback right here. All right, Stock Blitz time. What about IonQ right here? Quantum is now hot as you know what. There goes IonQ. Again, you know, big name today. Had some nice moves upside. IonQ, nice move higher there. Momentum above 71. We'll see if that can carry forward. IonQ has had a huge run as of late. Watch out for that break potentially tomorrow. 71.50 or so, that top end. Now, we did fade out near the end of the day, only looking like it's up 1%. But trust me, this name was hot for almost all day. Touched out right there at $70, $71. Nice pullback there for IonQ. I believe this one gets to go. This is a good one for anyone watching. Check out IonQ. Another story here, Apple, as we talk about the Stock Blitz right now. Taiwan pilot line foldables. Are we getting that foldable? We'll see if that comes through. Good support levels also for Apple right now. Looking at this 230. We have a sloping up right now, 50-period moving average. Apple off of their event last week. I think Apple continues to work. Great support areas down here, 230 and change. Plus, oh no. I'm gonna do this one, a little calculation. You get this sweet trade tomorrow, possibly, of this break right up in here. 241.50. Can we get it? Can we get some positive news overnight? Can we get someone upgrading? Can we get Min Chi Kuo? Something like that.
That is exactly his name, actually. 10 out of 10. Or 3 out of 3, I guess, for syllables.
Thank you. Can we get an upgrade somewhere in the space for Apple? Can we talk about supply? Apple's a great break trade right there on AAPL. Let's see if it goes. What about, this is in the space that you like, but it's not Miss Lily. Oh, no. It is Novo Nordisk right here. Their oral GLP-1 drug there gets a success right there. Phase 3 successes, eyeing, again, a breakout. So there it goes, man. Look at Novo Nordisk right here, taking out all of them levels, man, breaking through the 50-period moving average and going higher right now. So I think Novo Nordisk is a hot stock and continues to go higher right there. Everyone's talking GLP-1. Oh, it's cold as ice. What's up with that one right there? Who hit that cold as ice there? You, Fabian?
I did not.
Oh, I like that one. Okay. But I just think if you're looking at Novo Nordisk versus Eli Lilly, if we're looking at Novo Nordisk versus Eli Lilly, I mean, how much fun are we having right now? I hope you guys can see the difference. Like, I've gotten some energy back here. I'm a different man up here than I am at the desk. But there goes, because game time is when I'm in front of the screens. Now we're having some fun, right? So we don't play. But there it goes, Eli Lilly. They have a lot of room to run to the upside as well. So I think that this whole space has something going. But if you're going to look at Novo Nordisk versus Eli Lilly, to me it looks like Novo is the one that's going to go higher. But I like investing in best of breed. Okay, you want to participate in some of this?
Yeah.
All right, so let's go. I'm going to give you another stock right now. I'm not getting them for anywhere really. I'm just making them up. Well, I'm going to go Reddit.
Okay, I'm down to do Reddit.
So let's call up the Reddit chart. I don't know if do you have a chart?
Also, UPS, really quick here. Jamal G, $2 super chat. Watch UPS. Yeah, Jamal, this is up with FDX. Thank you for letting us know. And on the daily chart, this actually does look interesting. I was just doing some charting here. So in the daily, Sean, if we can kind of stay above this like 87 level, this is actually going to be a bit of a breakout.
Which stock? Oh, UPS.
Yeah, so I don't mind that on UPS. But let's talk here about RTT.
Yeah, let's talk about Reddit.
Reddit and forget it. Ooh, this is a top
Look at that.
candle on the daily.
What do you think? So they're in early talks with Google right now. There is some support down there at 265. Fight. We're not going to fight about this.
No, I don't need to fight.
But Reddit right now, good support there at 265 with a top break. So available right now as well over that 280 at that wick candle. Yeah. But what do you think that wick candle is telling you, Adara?
Honestly, I don't
right
know
here.
to make these assumptions. The wick candle is very visible. at these all-time highs, I don't want to make, it's always hard to get a wick like that at all-time highs. You're like, are you going to capitulate? The volume doesn't really suggest any capitulation to me. It wasn't like outsized volume today. We actually had more volume yesterday. But either way, like, I mean, even if you look at this, we had this resistance. Where is this around? Like you said, 265. I like around 250 as well.
Okay.
That was some clear resistance. If you go back to mid-August, then it formed as clear support yesterday. So I think the fact that we can hold above 250 is a good look. But this topping tail candle does make things sketchy. I think if we give up anything yesterday, if we break below 250, that could be a bit dicey. We are still near these all-time highs, though, and I think it's really going to have to depend on what action we get tomorrow.
Yeah, so I really like the fact that when ChatGPT and all these large language models right now are starting to pay Reddit, obviously, to gather data from them.
Yeah.
So the more we query different things and we're looking for different answers, I think Reddit holds a lot of power in all of that, where they can almost like demand certain prices. I mean, honestly, there's only so many places that these LLMs can draw from. I like Reddit for sure. Right there, what's up, Birdie Boys? He just wants to make sure that everybody remembers that. I guess that's tomorrow. Is that tomorrow? PTRN. Is that out yet?
PTRN tomorrow. Pattern group.
Okay, there it is.
I have details on it.
So we don't have it yet right there. Now, let's not go for details right now on Pattern Group. Join us tomorrow, and we'll talk about that. It's 4:30, so we are gonzo. The other name that I was going to actually talk about quickly, and then we'll wrap up this show, was Bullish. We'll go over FedEx again for you guys in a second, but Bullish, I think this name hot now. I mean, again, off of, look, I don't love recent IPOs. I'm turning a little bullish on it there, yeah, but for me, I'd like to see this break right there of 71.50, so I think a key level there for Bullish would be this 71.50 level, so we have work to do before we get there. We're just at 65. We got to go up another 10% before we get there, but hey, they turned a profit. They were not profitable last quarter. They were today, and there it goes, Bullish. I like it. I think there's got to be some kind of love for that. We've seen Coinbase go up and down a little bit during their initial IPO, as they all did. I mean, Reddit was a forget it for a while, and now it's ripping back up. So I think there's going to be winners and losers in this space. We got Gemini also come through. Yeah. So there's a lot of opportunity here for the space. But I think with that report, I think Bullish can get going to the upside even more than this. I'm not a buyer right here, but I like the stock.
Yeah, no, honestly, like when I look at this daily and I see that beautiful double bottom here with that 48.35 and the fact that the second bottom here is actually like a bottoming wick tail, I think this is a super, super bullish look on the daily for Bullish. I kind of agree with you, the same levels here for me. I think we have to take out that 71 first, which is some resistance on the daily. Then maybe we get to that 79.50. But yeah, I think Bullish could definitely continue to look, drumroll please, bullish from here, like the support.
All right, yeah, big day today. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you to Spark Shop for your kind donation as well. And for everybody that super chatted today, it definitely means a lot to us, that is for sure. All right, Adara, if we get wings tomorrow, this is your sauce.
Oh, Garparm.
I'm mango jalapeno or whatever for.
Oh, that's spicy.
Yeah, habanero mango there. So I like that. We'll get a little spice, but not too spicy. Get the sweet with the mango.
I went to a place called you might have heard of it.
Duff's?
Hooters.
Never heard of it.
Last week. And I tried the spice garlic, and I didn't think it would be that crazy. And then I was like sitting there like
spicy garlic.
Yeah, I was like, this can't be that spicy.
Do you like ramen?
Pardon?
Spicy, like you like ramen?
I can't do spicy ramen either.
Okay.
But so I go, it's the waitress after, I'm like, I didn't realize this would be so spicy. She's like, yeah, it's got a bit of a kick. Like my lips were blowing up. I was like, I had a physical reaction to this. It was good though. I'm trying to test myself, but probably no mango habanero for me.
Well, send me a link to that restaurant. Maybe I'll go check it out.
Oh yeah.
Thank you so much to everybody for watching again today. It's been a banger of a day. Thanks Ramin, thanks Fabian, thanks Adara for everybody for joining us. Look, tomorrow's Friday, so Friday for sure. I think it's been a great week. We had Fed Chair Powell come through yesterday. We had a nice cut. So the interest rate cut cycle is now upon us. Enjoy your football tonight. Do whatever you do. Make sure you do it with the ones that you love. That's Adara. I'm Sean. Ciao for now.
See you guys.